Punching Up, a Nintendo podcast, is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 70 of Punching Up, Last Stand Media's weekly Nintendo podcast. I'm your host, as always, Brad Ellison. Joining me, I have my two lovely co-hosts, as always. First, we start with Mr. Gene Park, Washington Post. Gene, I like your shirt.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Very, very festive and summery, even though it is a thunderstorm outside. It is.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. It is super rainy and gray and ugly. So.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah. So
is the heat wave over for you?
Severe thunderstorm, and it is still 84 degrees. So, yeah, it just sucks.
Yeah. All right. Also, we have Mrs. Micah Moriarty. Micah, hello. How are you?
Hello. Long time no see, Bradley.
I know. It's been a while.
Yeah.
She was just on Summon Sign yesterday.
Exactly. And we had a great time, did we
We
not?
sure did.
I think.
Cheese. I didn't know Chuck E. Cheese ever said poggers before.
Oh my God. I mean, there was a lot going on in that episode, but I feel like you put Chris, and I together and things just happen. The Chinese finger trap segment.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
That went down a very fun road.
Yeah. You guys brought the insanity. So it was very good.
Absolutely. If I may do my little PSA again.
Yes. Go for it.
In case you didn't hear on Summon Sign, just an update on the Hybroxia orders. Just a reminder, very gentle, very calm reminder that when these orders were placed, it's a 12-week shipping window. So like on the product details page, when you ordered Hybroxia, we listed that these will ship over a 12-week period because it's just me sending them out. I'm dropping them off, multiple times per week at the post office. We're chugging right along through them. But just, if possible, to try and limit emails only if you've received a tracking number and there's an issue with it, like it's marked as delivered and you didn't get it, or the tracking number completely stopped working. Only because it's starting to slow me down a bit with how many inquiries I'm getting as to like, when will my order ship? So rest assured, if your order is not yet shipped, you're fine. It's not lost or forgotten at all, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. If you do, of course, have any issue with the order being marked as delivered or the tracking number stopped updating suddenly, definitely reach out for any questions like that or any issues with the order. But in terms of when it will ship, we are just chugging right through these, and I'm hoping to get them done faster than that 12 weeks. That's just a very conservative window to make sure that we don't overpromise, basically. But they are coming. I'm not George Martin. I swear to God, they're coming. The games are coming.
Yeah, she's working hard. So please be patient. Please be excited for the game.
Oh yes, be very excited. I've been loving seeing people post when they get theirs. It's been neat to see them arrive. It's also a lot of like, I get so nervous every time I drop off a batch of these that something's going to happen.
Yeah.
It was maybe like 2 years ago. There was something we sold around Black Friday, and an entire batch of orders just sat at the post office for a straight week. And I couldn't tell anyone what was going on. And finally, they just all moved. They literally must have just been put in a bin, and that bin was forgotten until someone walked up to it and was like, oh, these got to go. But it's like stuff like that happens rarely. But when it does, it's so nerve wracking for me because I'm thinking I potentially have 50 orders I'll have to do like an insurance claim on, and then going from there with actually replacing the product and everything. So I'm nervous. You guys are nervous. We all gotta relax, me included.
Yeah, everyone calm down. All right. Hey, if you want to support us, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. You can get early access to the show as well as all of our other shows, all that good stuff. You want some merch, like Micah was just saying, laststandmedia.store. She'll send it out to you. But please be patient. She's working hard.
And they're being
Just
very,
takes time.
I do want to say, I haven't gotten any, no one's been like angry or upset or anything. Like I totally understand. Like it's been 2 weeks and you're just curious.
Yeah.
But it's like right. We're 2 weeks into 12 weeks, so they are going. But I also want to highlight that no one's been upset. Not a single person has been ornery or out of line about it. Just very kind emails asking when it'll come through.
Yeah, we have a good audience, so thank you guys. All right, James Solar wrote in, said, I don't have a write-in. Sometimes I read through the thread for fun, and wow, things have really gotten out of hand down there. Best of luck with the episode, James. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. You're telling me.
Very gif like walking into the fire, that apartment when it's on fire. Like, oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah. This show is pure insanity by far. The most insane show I'm always on is ours. We've done it somehow. But that's the way it is. We won't have it any other way, all right? So get comfortable. All right, this is from Raisin. Greetings, five-finger toad punchers. In 1998, back when I was 3, oh my god, little baby, Michael Bay released Unto the World Armageddon, a film about a group of oil riggers who go to space to drill into the core of an asteroid the size of Texas and plant a nuclear bomb in it and blow it up or some shit. I don't fucking know. I was 3. Liv Tyler's in it. She's hot as fuck. Anyways, what 5 video game characters, 1 PlayStation, 1 Nintendo, 1 Xbox, and 1 third party, 1 indie would you send to space to blow up an asteroid the size of Texas? I'd send Celine, Samus, Master Chief, Isaac Clarke, and Space Dude from Vampire Survivors. I await y'all's responses. Until then, I'll goon in silence. Yeah, James, you were right. All right, Micah, we got to blow up an asteroid like Armageddon. You can't take Bruce Willis with you.
I guess not.
1 PlayStation person, 1 Nintendo, 1 Xbox, 1 third party, 1 indie character. Who are you taking?
Let me also say I've never seen this movie, so I didn't know that's what the hell it was about. So,
okay.
All right, PlayStation. I'm taking Crash Bandicoot. He can fit in small spaces. He's
not PlayStation.
What do you mean?
Xbox owns him now.
Now, okay, legacy PlayStation. I'm not playing this game, Bradley. You think Crash
Bandicoot? You gotta play the game.
PlayStation. I ain't doing.
You gotta play the game.
You think Crash Bandicoot? You think PlayStation? Like that's just a hands down. Like
no, I think of Phil Spencer smiling. That's what I think of now.
Well, I think of Phil Spencer smiling all the time, but that's that's not for now. That's not for right now, Bradley. All right, fine. If you're gonna bust my balls about it,
I'm gonna bust them.
All right. I like Nadine Ross. Roth? Is it Ross or Roth?
I think it's Ross.
Nadine Ross. Nadine Roth.
I'm surprised you didn't say Galahad or something like that.
I'm not sending him in the core of the earth. What if he dies in there? You know? He's
got
too
that black goo. He's fine.
He's too dangerous. All right, we're going Nadine.
Okay.
Nintendo, we're sending Captain Olimar. He definitely could fit in small spaces. Xbox, we're going Baird. He's a mechanics expert. All right. Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Third party, I don't know, we'll send in like Mael. I hope she dies in there. And then indie, I don't know any fucking indie games. One of the little brats from Sea of Stars, I guess. One of them.
Okay. Yeah.
One of them.
Garl or you
not
want the
Garl.
2?
You would send Garl, my beloved, to the core of the earth?
Well,
are you mad?
He's competent. Someone's got to cook for them.
No. Garl stays topside. All right.
I can't remember any of the 2 characters.
No, not to the core of Earth. On the
asteroid. They're sent there to blow it up.
On the missile, right?
Yeah, like they're taking a rocket to the asteroid to blow it up.
That's what this movie's about.
Yes.
This sounds. I thought like an asteroid like hit. I don't fucking. This is crazy. This is out of bounds.
Someone from Sea Stars. We'll go with that.
Yeah,
Gene,
one of them.
What about you?
PlayStation characters. I would send Astrobot.
Ooh, good pick.
Wait, but these are sacrificial though, right?
I don't know what happens in the movie. Do they live?
Yeah, they all die. So
what? I'm not
What
sending
happens
anybody.
when you send a bunch of people to an asteroid? Like,
I don't know, Gene. I don't know. I didn't expect it to be sad. It's an action movie, right? It's going to be sad at the end.
no, but it's the one where the Aerosmith does a ballad song. So of course it's going to be sad. This was like Titanic. This was like Titanic for men, right?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I rescind all of them. You guys are on your own with this
This
shit.
was like
We can all just
Titanic
die
for like
together.
40-year-old men,
Yeah.
So, which I'm 40 now, so I totally get it now. Also, I'm probably forgetting. Like, I don't know if they all die, but I feel like that would happen. So I don't know characters I want to die. I'll send Jin Sakai from
How dare
Ghost of
you?
Tsushima.
How dare
They
you?
already
Send
killed him.
Aloy. Get that bitch out of here.
Oh, Aloy. Oh, okay. I like Aloy. I like Aloy better still. So I'll send Jin.
What about one of her like stupid friends that no one likes?
Oh
Any of
yeah,
the
yeah.
characters?
That cuck, the simp dude, Roth,
Yeah.
whatever
Chops
like
guy?
that. Horizon male characters. Who is the hottest man in the game? Neil.
That's definitely not what you typed in.
Aaron. I'll send Aaron up.
Yeah, get rid of him.
So he can stop simping over Aloy. For Nintendo, I'll send up Dixie Kong because she's weird. For Xbox, I'll just send up Dom because he's already dead, from Gears of War.
True.
One third party, I'll send up Jake Wesker from Resident Evil 6. And Indy, I'll send up specifically Ben Starr's version of Balatro Joker up too. he can go ahead and die too. So
yeah, he can die. Sorry,
die
man.
for the cause. Heroically,
Heroically, very heroic.
Yeah,
Sacrifice.
heroically. These are all heroes. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I want them to die, but if I want to send as much minimal damage as possible to my own properties, and Jin's already dead. Like Jin's already gone. Like his age is over. So it's like, yeah, you're done as an IP. Just go up and save the world now.
Yep. Fair enough. PlayStation, I'm sending Joel Miller because he's already fucking dead. So I might as well. Just tell him it's for Ellie or something. Nintendo, I'm sending my boy Cranky Kong just because he's had a long life already. And his wife's dead, Wrinkly Kong, so he can join her in the afterlife. Xbox, I'm sending the Chief. It's time to die, Chief. Because they've already killed you as well. Third party, ooh. Man, Jake Wesker's a really funny answer. Who would I send from third party? I don't know. Handsome Jack, dude. Just fucking die. Get out there, Handsome Jack. And one indie, I would send one indie. Shovel Knight, dude. He's had a long life. He's been on everything already. I love you, Shovel Knight, but you've already been in everything. You're fine, dude. So, time to die. All right. That's it. What a strange question, but I like it. Soulful
Really
Bison wrote in.
Really weird question. I haven't watched Armageddon in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It was a good movie. I watched it. I only watched it when it came out, and that's it.
Yeah, same. Sup, gangsters? What is the definitive barbecue sauce? I'll dip my chicken tendies and listen. All right, Mike, I think you have opinions about this, probably.
Oh, sure. I mean, my favorite will always be Sweet Baby Ray's. Now, my favorite that they make is the sweet and spicy. It is just spicy enough. It's not going to burn you down. You just get a little bit of tingle, a little bit of heat. It works really well to put on something that's already a little spicy as well. Like, it's not going to burn your mouth up if you use like a spicy barbecue rub and then use that on top. It's a nice level of kick. Like, it doesn't even give me heartburn, for example. So yeah. The honey barbecue is also excellent. It's very sweet. That is perfect for like chicken tendies, or something like that. But yeah, the Sweet Baby Ray's sweet and spicy is my all-time favorite.
It's a good pick. Gene, what about you? You got anything you can think of?
Not really a barbecue sauce fan. I usually just, for hot sauce, I always go Tabasco.
Tabasco. Okay. Do you like the Tabasco Cheez-Its? Have you ever had those?
No, well, I have had those. I didn't finish the box. It was too much.
I loved them.
I love Cheez-Its. I love Cheddar Jack Cheez-Its. Those are my favorite. In fact, I even have a box right here, ready to go for me to chow on. But Tabasco Cheez-Its are just a little bit much. I don't know. Cheez-Its are tough to get right, and I feel like Cheddar Jack is the only one that got it right. Just nice and tangy and cheesy enough. But Tabasco Cheddar Cheez-Its were just a bit much. But I do like putting Tabasco on potato chips, so they had the right idea. I just don't think it paired well with Cheez-Its.
Yeah. No, I
Tabasco
understand
chips I would
that.
eat the hell out of for sure. Oh my God.
Well, and you're right about Cheez-Its. Like some of their variations, my sister loves the white cheddar Cheez-Its. I always hated those, and I love white cheddar. It's my favorite cheese. But for Cheez-Its, I hated it. And
white cheddar cheeses are awful. Yeah, for sure.
Awful. She would, when it would be her turn to choose like the school snack for the week, and she'd be like, white cheddar Cheez-Its. And I'd be like, fuck, like I hated them. I liked the Tabasco ones or the original. But you're right that I don't love most of their variations. I buy original for the most part these days.
Mike, I'm with you. Sweet Baby Ray's.
I know you're gonna say about the Cheez-Its.
No. I actually just like the regular Cheez-Its. I haven't had it like. I'm not opposed to trying different cheeses. I just haven't had the opportunity to have a bunch of different flavors. But I respect the game. You know, you gotta switch it up every now and then with cheeses.
As long as it's not cheese nips, because those can go to hell. Those are
cheese
horrible.
Nips? I don't even know what those are.
They're the ones that come in like the foil bag. They're disgusting.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the
I
other
remember.
thing
I don't
my
think I've
sister
had those.
liked. Oh my God, they're terrible. She'd be like, they're the SpongeBob shapes. And it's like, they suck.
But yeah, Sweet Baby Ray's. It's the way to go. Love it. All right, let's talk about Nintendo news. First thing up right now, Super Mario Strikers is coming to Nintendo Switch Online. Available July 3rd. This was the GameCube soccer game, obviously. It was great. Gene, have you played this?
I have. I tried to play the Strikers game on the new Switch, and I did not like it. So I'm excited to see the OG come back for sure.
Yeah, the GameCube one. Yeah. I did play some of the one on Switch. I don't remember anything about it though. That's funny. I remember the GameCube one being fun at the time. Though. I'm curious about how it holds up.
Yeah,
Mike,
it's been over 20 years or whatever since I played it.
It's been a long time.
We'll
yeah.
see. Yeah,
It's been a long time. So we'll see how it is.
It's like Armageddon. I just don't know. You know.
Yeah, it's time to go back.
Yeah.
Mike,
yeah, I mean, again, like they keep catering all this shit to people like our age, basically. You know, it's wild.
We're the ones that got the money to buy the consoles, so
That's
they know.
True. That's true.
Mike, are you interested in checking this out at all?
I will check it out. Everyone knows I hate soccer, so it's just it's like, oh, of all the Mario sports, it has to be fucking soccer. But I will check it out. I never played it on GameCube, and it just looks adorable. I watched the little trailer, and it is just so cute and charming. So I will try it, but I just fundamentally don't like soccer, so I don't think I'm gonna love it.
Shit's gonna get real when they bring Mario Golf over. That's gonna be a big day.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're waiting for.
Maybe even Colin will play. Maybe he'll ungraduate and come back to elementary school and play. That'll be good shit.
Now, if they did like a Mario hockey and you could be like checking people into the boards and shit, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, never done Mario hockey. There was Mario baseball on GameCube,
I hate
but
baseball too, man.
Well,
All
there
the
was
bad
tennis.
sports.
There's tennis.
Tennis is
which
great.
fun.
Oh, fucking tennis is awesome.
Golf. But yeah, still plenty of sports for Mario to tackle. Maybe there's like a hockey one in the Mario Sonic Olympics games. Maybe you can like check Amy into the boards or something like that. That'd be pretty funny.
Right.
But,
Oh, yeah. You accidentally like step on somebody on the ice. Like Sonic's neck got slashed. Like, hurry.
Sonic's bleeding out on the rink.
Get the Vietnam veteran to help.
Wait,
That's a
Vietnam?
real life thing. That's a real life thing that happened. I think it was a Vietnam vet. It was during a game. Oh man, I think the goalie got like sliced in the neck somehow, and somebody who was a combat veteran like went like helped him on the ice and like held him shut so he didn't bleed out and die.
Whoa, what a badass.
I'm fuzzy on the details because I don't remember even what year that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that to see that play out in the Sonic game would be very realistic and very cool.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right. We got some bad news for our Canadian brethren right here. Canada's raising prices on some Nintendo things, or Nintendo in Canada is. Not the Switch 2, though. This is from Nintendo's website. I'm just going to read it right here. Pricing for the original Nintendo Switch TM family of systems and products in Canada will change based on market conditions. These include Nintendo Switch OLED model, Nintendo Switch Lite, physical and digital Nintendo Switch games, and Nintendo Switch accessories. Other Nintendo products, including Amiibo and Nintendo Switch Online memberships, will also experience price changes. Please note, this pricing change does not apply to Nintendo Switch 2 systems, accessories, or software. Pricing information specifics to the Canadian market will be shared at nintendo.com store / on August 1st. So if you're in Canada right now, if you want to get like a year or so, I don't know if you could probably buy like years of a service. And if you're wanting to do that kind of stuff, you maybe can before August 1st. I don't know how much stuff's going to go up, but it's going to go up. Micah, how are you feeling for our Canadian brethren?
Oh, I mean, it sucks. I am certainly not going to root for anybody to have to pay more for this hobby. Like, we all already feel like our wallets are stretched right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it especially sucks. It's like raising the price of the online service. It's one thing to be like, okay, cost of materials and whatever. It's like, what, the cost of fucking internet went up too, man? Like, I don't know. That sucks. It sucks that it's going to be not just that the actual console costs more, but also that the membership price will increase.
Yeah.
Is this the price of us getting GameCube games available? Like,
yes.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's brutal. Gene, any thoughts about this? I guess we're all just kind of like, this sucks.
It's a bummer. I'm always hearing about how Canadian prices are so high, and it's it's so hard for me to wrap my brain around them having the same kind of dollar and the same like looking metric, but it's just more expensive.
Right.
You know? Like it just makes more sense when it's like some other completely different type of currency, like yen or the Korean won. And I'm just like, oh yes, of course, the a dollar is like 1,800 yen or whatever like that. But then like it doesn't make any sense to me when a Canadian dollar is actually $5 as opposed to $1. Like we have the same dollar. What are you talking about? You know. But that's just me not like just laughing at, you know, the economy is fake, man. You know.
True.
There's nothing real about the economy. It's just a bunch of old people just making up numbers and making themselves feel better about them. That's literally it. So,
dude, I mean, fucking my credit score went down when I paid off my car. And it's like, oh, doesn't that make sense?
Yeah,
because I'm debt free, because I successfily paid off the debt, and they're like, well, you suck. And it's like, well, all right.
I want your debt forever.
It's all awful. Fucking made up.
Yeah,
it's just fantasy football with money, you know. And that's probably why Colin likes talking about business so much. You know, I heard Colin mention on Sacred Symbols that I don't appreciate his autism, which is true. But also I think that's the root of my boredom with like sales data and like, you know, like oh my god, like this it you know, PlayStation made this much revenue or Nintendo made this much profits or whatever. That it's like it's just all fake, you know. So it's just all magic numbers that makes Micah's credit score go down for whatever reason, even though she's doing well and paying things off. You know, like that makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, Canada, hang in there.
Anyways, good luck, Canada. That sucks, though. Like objectively, that sucks. Like I like. Coming back to the reality of the situation and the economies that we have to grapple with. That totally sucks, Canada. So I have a lot of Canadian friends, and they're always bitching to me about how, you know, a game is like $100 there. I'm just like, do they not just pay you more? What the? That's crazy. That sucks. You know.
Mm-hmm.
At least you got healthcare.
You know, it's got to balance out somewhere, right? You get free healthcare. I get cheaper Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, you know, a couple of years ago, a bunch of games journalists were complaining about like their salaries, and you know, like they were openly talking about it. They're like, oh my god, I'm only making $70,000 or $80,000 a year, right? And then like I had a couple of like UK journalists like DM me. They're like, Gene, am I going crazy, or are these people like rich and they're just complaining about how much money they make? That's crazy. And I was like, you don't understand how much we have to pay out of pocket out of that salary. So the money we make is actually closer to like 40,000, probably after taxes, after the healthcare that we have to pay for, after, you know, everything. And they're like, "Oh, 40,000 is about how much I make." I was like, "Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. It's just it looks like we're richer because we're having to spend more and our rent is higher and everything is more expensive."
Oh, yeah, because if you want to work in entertainment, generally speaking, like entertainment just in a broad sense, whether you're like a journalist or whatever, like you have to live where the work is typically. Even in our age of remote work, so many places still want you to live close by, just for the fuck of it. So it's like, yeah, it's like in theory, you could work from anywhere. And you could move somewhere with a lower cost of living and actually be like, yeah, now I'm much more comfortable. But if you have to live in LA for your job, it's like, well, you have to pay LA prices, and that sucks.
Yeah. Gene, how often do you have to go to the office?
Every day. So I just walk in. I just walk in and leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if you had to go in every day or for
that's all of a sudden.
All right. Let's see here. Recently, we kind of talked about this, but Nintendo and Amazon seem to settle whatever kind of beef they had going on. You can get Nintendo games on Amazon again, all that kind of stuff. But Bloomberg has a report here about why all this kind of went down. And Bloomberg said Nintendo stopped selling products on Amazon USA due to disagreements over unauthorized sales. Third-party game sellers undercut Nintendo on pricing. So this is from Bloomberg. I'm going to read this part. Nintendo Co. pulled its products from Amazon Inc. USA site after disagreement over unauthorized sales, meaning its e-commerce company missed out on the recent debut of Nintendo Switch 2, the biggest game console launch of all time. The Japanese company selling on Amazon after noticing that third-party merchants were offering games for sale in the US at prices that undercut Nintendo's advertised rates, according to a person familiar with the situation. Enterprising sellers were buying Nintendo products in bulk in Southeast Asia and exporting them into the USA, said the person who requested amnesty to discuss the confidential information. So all this was kind of going down. This is what Bloomberg saying Nintendo, but it's both worth noting that Amazon and Nintendo both denied this. Here's a quote. There is no such fact. We do not disclose details of negotiations or contracts with retailers, a Nintendo spokesman said in an email response declining to elaborate further. An Amazon spokesperson said the claims made by Bloomberg regarding our relationship with Nintendo are inaccurate, but declined to specify how. Amazon is pleased to offer Nintendo products directly to our customers as part of our commitment to providing an exceptional shopping experience with the widest selection possible, the spokesperson said. Gene, what do you think about this? Do you think there's validity to Bloomberg, what they're saying right here?
Oh, honestly, it kind of sounds right. Sounds about, doesn't sound that far off, and it doesn't sound like something that you need to deny and decline and everything either. But that makes sense though, because Amazon has a lot of shady sellers, right?
Yes,
a lot of really weird stuff going on at the Amazon marketplace as well. So I wouldn't be surprised when Nintendo was like, "Hey, what's going on here?"
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of makes sense to me. I don't think Bloomberg is lying at all. I think they're Nintendo and Amazon are just trying to just they're both smart companies. Ethical transparency here. Jeff Bezos is obviously my boss, but they're both smart companies, and they know that to make controversy go away, you just say it's whatever, it's nothing.
Deny,
like the worst thing you can do is be like the Splitgate CEO and just keep repeating, just keep uploading videos of yourself, like explaining yourself, like, oh no, but I mean this, or I mean that, or oh, I'm sorry, it's just like. Yeah. Shut the fuck up, Or even like the Xbox heads, and they keep going on podcasts and they keep saying stuff,
Yeah.
And Nintendo and Amazon are where they are because they're like, no, Even Sony, PlayStation doesn't say shit at all,
Right.
Everyone keeps asking for Herman Hulst's head, and meanwhile Herman is like, no, I'm not going to say anything. Business as usual. Let's keep going.
Smart, not too often.
Yeah.
Micah, what do you think about all this?
Yeah, well, I agree with Gene, especially about like the kind of concept of like the 24-hour news cycle. It's like if you just stop talking about something, it will die down, a new story takes over, and you're just in the clear. I I see this as very plausible. Obviously, like I don't have any insider intel, but we all know that it's fucking weird that Amazon didn't get any Switch 2s at launch. And it's weird that we did notice that a couple months ago, like you couldn't buy some of the first party Nintendo games. It's like you can't pre-order this on Amazon. You can only get it at, GameStop or whatever. It's like, so something definitely happened. Both these companies really like money. So it had to have been a big reason and a good reason to not sell your games on Amazon. Like easily just the top place for Americans to shop online. Not only do you have like the Prime shipping, which I am now proudly partaking of because we set up the Amazon like household account. So now I get to use Prime shipping.
Dude, people keep writing into me to ask you this. I'm like, I
can't tell you how many DMs I got about it.
I know. It happened, guys. You can stand down.
Oh, dude, yeah. And I switched over. I canceled all my like standing pre-orders and redid them with Prime. So like Donkey Kong and not Story of Seasons because I'm getting that from GameStop, but like Ride Out I got and something else. The Final Fantasy Tactics, whatever.
Oh, hell
But when it comes to this, it's like something clearly happened. Amazon's wording very carefully saying this is inaccurate, so maybe there's one detail that's amiss, but I definitely buy this as happening because there's just no fucking way that Amazon was like, yeah, we don't want to sell Switch 2s. Of course not. There's just something major had to have happened, and Nintendo's laying down the law, it seems, of like, we're not going to sell them here at all if you're going to allow third-party sellers to sell, other region copies for $10 less or whatever it was. So clearly, though, there's definitely something, and we'll probably never actually know the truth. Or maybe this is the truth, and we're all just taking it with a grain of salt. This could be 100% accurate, and they're just like, no, why just say that?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree with both of you. Something was up big time. Like I'm thinking of the Futurama gif with Fry, like squinting. Like that's what I'm immediately thinking about with all this kind of hoopla going on. Yeah, I'm inclined to believe Bloomberg on this one more than I believe Nintendo and Amazon, because Gene's right. Like, they're smart. They know not to comment on this kind of stuff. Why would they even say this? Like, oh, yeah, that's why we did it, kind of thing like that. It's like, they just don't want to draw attention to it, period. So
exactly, yeah. Why would they say, oh, totally, yeah,
Yeah, there's no reason
the leaker is correct. Yeah, let's acknowledge that the leak. Let's validate the leaker.
Yeah, exactly.
Because even if this guy, whoever this is, they might not ever get in trouble, but you don't want to validate them and either like embolden them to say more because like now people really will believe me, or just the fact of like, no, you just want to discredit them. You just want to discredit this person so that even if it's 100% true, people will just cock their head at it and say, well, maybe not.
Yeah, 100%. So, well, back on track for everything on Amazon, it seems like for now. So that's good. Micah's in there getting our pre-orders. Hopefully she'll get stuff on launch day now.
Oh, right. It would still be my luck that I won't, though, right? And dude, Prime Day is coming. And I actually, for once, I'm like, hell yeah, man, because I want an air fryer. So.
Oh, hell. You guys don't have an air fryer yet?
I had one years ago. And actually, it was when Colin's friend, Mike, was here recently. And he's like, dude, you got to get an air fryer. I'm like, I want one. I already have one picked out. I think it's actually already at the Prime Day price. Because it says when I clicked on like the Prime preview, it was in there. So I actually might just order this now.
Yeah, dude, get that.
That's the thing. I just keep telling myself I don't need it, but I know I use it all the time.
You love cooking stuff, so yeah.
I do. I cook at least 6 days a week. The number one thing I want it for, sorry for the air fryer tangent, is just when I do like roasted veggies or roasted potatoes, they're often better at a higher temp than what I'm already cooking like the main thing at. So it's like they take longer in the oven, or like they don't come out quite as crispy, but I can't crank the chicken up to that temp because it'll. So it's like, it would be nice to just have this secondary thing to have like my main oven set to 350 and then the air fryer can rock at 400 with my Brussels sprouts in it, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking myself into it.
Yeah, you got to get it. I love the air fryer. It's a game changer. All right, next thing we got right here. Magic the Gathering Secret Lair is doing a Sonic the Hedgehog collaboration. Magic's been doing collaborations pretty recently. We just had the Final Fantasy one going on. So this is a collab with Sonic the Hedgehog. It's Secret Lair is different than a normal collab. I believe it's kind of like a smaller set of cards, I think, or something like that. There's like a few, but they're shown here. So all you Sonic freaks out there, you can get like Maddie, get like a Supersonic one, Knuckles, Tails. I don't know. Gene, you're a Sonic fan. Are you interested in any of these cards going on?
No, I'm not. I'm good.
Because you did get some of them, the Final Fantasy ones.
I did get the Final Fantasy ones. I haven't opened them yet because I just don't care about cards, honestly. So, I kind of don't care about cards. I got the Final Fantasy ones because I love Final Fantasy 7, and Final Fantasy 7 is like core. But Sonic is. I mean, Sonic cards doesn't sound weird or interesting enough for me to buy. Like a Sonic Gold chain,
right?
I will buy that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But like fucking trading card, it's just whatever. I don't care. So
yeah.
As a Sonic fan, that's cool, and I can totally see fans buying that. But I'm not that deep into the Sonic fandom that I would just buy. I would just also buy cards and everything too. So
yeah, Micah, when are you gonna buy your Sonic cards?
Oh, I mean, the Eggman card is pretty sweet because Eggman's awesome, but otherwise, no, Bradley. I'm not that big of a Sonic fan. I would hesitate to call myself a Sonic fan. I like one Sonic game.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise I'm just like,
which Sonic game?
Oh, that Adventure DX or whatever. The one with the
Sonic
Halloween
Adventure
world.
DX.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Sonic Adventure 2. Where's that one? Pumpkin Hill. I think that's
There's
2,
a rap
right?
in it. Yeah.
I
I liked that. I liked that a lot. Otherwise, though, and the chows, you taking care of your little chows. That was fun.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like Sonic could go away forever and I wouldn't notice. So,
well, he's not. He's not going anywhere.
This Eggman card is pretty sweet. That's probably the best one because I'm gonna say some of these poses are way too similar, but Eggman, like, that's a really cool one. But like, look at Sonic and Shadow, like how fucking similar they did these.
Yeah,
I mean, just, where's the love?
Where's the love, Magic?
Those Final Fantasy cards look fucking sweet.
Yeah,
I don't even like that. And those looked awesome.
Yeah, they're sick. Oh, so I found what Secret Lair is. Secret Lair is the party inside the party at Magic the Gathering. We combine everything we love about Magic with stuff in pop culture that inspires us. Each drop puts a brand new spin on your favorite cards and might even have something entirely new. Think collabs with all kinds of different artists, art styles you've never seen on the Magic card before, and crossovers with characters and partners from across pop culture. Well, there you go. So all you Sonic degenerates out there, you can get your cards. I know you'll enjoy them. Just make sure to keep them clean, all right?
Laminate them, maybe.
Laminate them, keep them clean, because I know you're going to get those dirty. All right, guys, let's talk about what we're playing. Gene, let's start with you. You still just playing Death Stranding?
So just playing Death Stranding. I have 115 hours in Death Stranding 2 now. So I am taking things slowly. I should, a friend of mine, Eurothug 4000 YouTuber, she does essays, video essays on YouTube over the UK. She was able to platinum the game in 100 hours. She got 5 stars for every single prepper and got every single piece of gear. And so I'm working on that too, but I'm just doing it nice and slowly. But I did finish completely the freeway system and the monorail system.
Wow.
Which is a huge milestone in completing Death Stranding in general, right? Where it is this beautiful, and now that as you know, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on Death Stranding too. As you know, the rail and the freeway system kind of feed into each other, for resources and mines and everything like that. So now I just have this beautiful network of resources just like operating at all times. And you also get an autopilot or auto drive upgrade in the game. I don't know if you got that yet.
No.
It's a A-Pass a skill tree upgrade where if you're kind of cruising along the middle lane battery line, the battery lane of the freeway, if you're just cruising on there for like 5 seconds, a little meter at the back of your vehicle will fill up, bloop, 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 and it'll hit auto drive, and then like that you can, and then right there you can let go of the gas, and you'll just be cruise control, just like driving across the freeway. So it feels so nice. People are going to make fun of Death Stranding where it's like you're not even playing the game. But it's like you don't realize how rewarding it is to just cruise on the freeway on autopilot with your upgraded skill tree in your nice car that's armored and has all the cool gear on it, right? Which you can customize your vehicles now too with tools and armor and logos and stuff like that, which you could do in part 1, but they expanded for part 2. But cruising down your custom-made truck outfitted with all kinds of cool the latest tools and tech, and then you see in the background and the night sky. I told you the day and night cycle is beautiful. The night sky, you just see the monorail just like glowing in the background and just humming along, just moving. And you're just like, man, I'm creating society here. I'm creating a society of resources and resource management and building things, and it feels so good. Some of the late game preppers are really, really hard to 5-star though. If you ever platinum or completed Death Stranding 1 where you got 5 stars for every character, there was a couple of preppers at the end of Death Stranding 1 where it just took you forever to upgrade. This one, and I played with Death Stranding 1 so recently. So in Death Stranding 1, like you sometimes you couldn't even upgrade the preppers to be on like 1 star until you started reading their fucking emails.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. You need to read their emails to advance the side quests, and then they'll be like, "Oh, now I do this," and then you go back to the prepper, and then they'll have an advanced mission for you. But it's not so rigid in Death Stranding 2, where it's mostly dependent on if you just finish certain quests, or if you have a certain quest at a certain 5 stars or whatever like that, or certain stars, and then the quest will update. The pizza chef is probably the most popular side quest that people are talking about. Kojima, in fact, even said in London in his show the other night, he said, "Yeah, I'm sad that people keep spoiling things in the game. People just keep sharing clips of all the cute stuff, and it's already all already out there." And he's like, "Yeah, that kind of sucks, but some of these side quests have unique scenes and cutscenes that you want to unlock." And I just want to unlock all the tools. And I think I pretty much have every single prepper at 4 stars. So I'm actually just trying to get everyone at 5 stars now, which is not a big deal. But some preppers have rewards at 5 stars, which I want to get. My biggest complaint about the game is I wish we can also unlock the old vehicle designs from Death Stranding 1. Death Stranding 2 has a very open, like a front open design where if you're driving the truck, you're not covered at all. You're just sitting like outside the truck in front. Same with the bike. The bike, you're not straddling the bike. You're kind of sitting back at the bike in the front. And all of this is way more utilitarian. All of this is in service of making sure that you have more space in the truck or the bike to be able to get stuff. So you can haul more gear, haul more resources, And so that's all very useful. And I appreciate that as I'm building up everything. But now that everything's built, I don't really need to build up anything anymore, actually. So it's like, really, it's just about style and substance. And that's my complaint. And also, I don't think armor plating is available anymore, which is weird, considering Death Stranding 2 is so much more combat heavy.
Oh, on Sam, you mean, actually?
Yeah, on Sam. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have armor plating on the vehicles, which is cool.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But there's no armor plating for the shoulders, which I really loved. I really loved the look of them. I thought they looked so cool. And right now, you only get the thermal pod for your shoulders as a gear item for your shoulders, and they just removed that. So you can just have 2 thermal pods, which is kind of useless. And they both drain battery like crazy when you're in the snow. So it's like. That's kind of a bummer for me. I wish the game had slightly better unlockables. This is not a spoiler, but like the duster coat from the beginning of the game is not unlockable. As far as I can
that
tell.
sucks.
Yeah, as far as I can tell. And I haven't 100% completed the game, but from people I've spoken to, they're like, no, you don't get the code. It's kind of like the white suit that you have at the beginning of Death Stranding 1, like the very, very beginning. Like that looks cool, and it looks very like Metal Gear like. Even like the logo Porter on it looks totally like a Metal Gear Solid like logo, like the type font. But that's not playable at all. You can't. It's just only available at the first 5 minutes, and same with the duster coat, which is unfortunate. But Brad, I'm really interested in hearing your experience because you've spent some good time with it and you've done some good damage, I think, in the story.
Yeah, I'm like 23 hours in the game
That's
right
far.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been playing like crazy amounts, but I play every day, like at least a couple hours, and it's been great. I'm just playing at my own pace. I've been enjoying it. If I feel like I need to take a break, just take the break, man. It's been great. I love this game. It's my favorite game of the year so far that I've been playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Just real quick, I went on Cog's podcast, Iron Lord's podcast, and I said I think Death Stranding 2 takes it. Expedition 33, I would not be mad if it won. I think I will welcome that. I think it will be a great story, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'd be really great for them. I think they deserve it. But you know, for me personally, I think Death Stranding 2 does just so many things more unique than Expedition 33. And then immediately the chat went, see, this is why game journalists just hate on everything. They're just haters. I'm just like, I literally didn't even say one single bad thing about Expedition 33 at all. I said it's great. I think it's fantastic. I said I think it deserves Game of the Year. And then all of a sudden that's considered hate because I like Death Stranding 2 more personally. So like I've seen people in the comments saying like, oh, Gene just started harping on Expedition 33 Glazers. Like it's been 2 months. And it's like, yeah, it's been 2 months and you guys still fucking sound like this.
I know. I told you, man.
Right?
The new Nier fans.
Yeah, the new Nier fans, absolutely. Anyway, sorry, Brad. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, but yeah,
it's your game of the year so far. Yeah.
So far, Death Stranding just kind of makes me feel a certain way that no other game makes me feel. Like I don't know. It has this kind of like vibe to it. It's definitely something hard to explain, but once you're playing it, you can like click with it. Especially some of the story moments. And man, this game looks fucking good. Looks really good. It runs really good. Great soundtrack. Great acting. Some of the cutscenes are so sick, man. There's one cutscene that I won't talk about on air, but I was like, dude, this is like this is like reminding me of Metal Gear big time right now. Especially like with Vamp, and it reminded me like Vamp and stuff, and Raiden, of course.
Gotcha. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know.
I was like, this fucking
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's so good, man. And the progression, I would say, of unlocking stuff is really well done. The pacing, I always feel like there's not a huge gap where I don't get something cool. And everything I get, I'm like, oh, this is actually kind of useful. I could see a use for this kind of thing right here. So it's been very rewarding in that sense. I think the pacing of the game is just better than the first game as well. I think the lulls aren't there as nearly as much, and something as interesting is happening pretty frequently throughout. The environment you go through is amazing. I love the area, the locales you go through. They look so good. There's so much diversity going through them. There's some funny things I won't talk about that you can collect as well for certain things that are very different than the first game, and I thought that was really cool. But yeah, man, I'm enthralled with the story. I love the Magellan. I always want to call it the DMV Magellan, but it's not. What is it? It's like the
the DHV Magellan, and they're going to say the full name every single time. They're never going to call it the Magellan. They're not going to call it the ship. They're going to call it the DHV Magellan the entire time.
The Magellan's cool. I like how easy it is to get around with it. It's so streamlined. They just kind of you can kind of teleport to locations you've already been. Dude, which I really love.
So fast, the fast travel. You just like, and then you're there already, you know?
And you just load up your vehicles and everything and throw them in there and travel around. And playing Death Stranding when like a new one is out is so fun because everyone's playing and you see people just contributing to the world, and it's really cool. Like when you put something out there and people give it likes, it feels really rewarding. Or you help someone build something, like they request like build aid or something, like there's part of the road and you're contributing to it. It all adds this really cool sense of community that I love so much about this game. And the gameplay itself is much better. I just think it's more clean this time around. Everything like movement, shooting, the stuff you can do in combat, like being able to just parry, like raising your arms up and stuff like that. And you brought this up, Gene, earlier or like a couple weeks ago, is how it introduces stuff way quicker this time around, like a gun you get way sooner, and so that really helps with like combat. And I love how a lot of the encounters make you go into camps instead of kind of just avoiding them throughout most of the game like you do in the first game, where you're like thrown into it. And it reminds me a lot, I'm sure you said this too, like Metal Gear Solid 5 reminds me a lot of that kind of stuff. That DNA feels like it's there. So yeah, I'm just thrilled playing this game. I love it. I love the MP3 player. I love the spa or like the hot spring kind of stuff going on there. There's some fun Easter eggs in there, which is really cool.
God,
yeah, it's really good shit. The game's always surprising me with something, and I I just love these characters, man. Kojima does such a great job of getting me invested in all of them, and I like actively root for all of them, and I think the villain is better this time around as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a wonderful game right now. I'm curious to see how I feel about when I finish it. I assume I'll still like it, but who knows? But it's great, man. I think about it a lot when I'm not playing.
The character work is incredible because like Death Stranding 1 was so much about world building,
Yeah.
Like, understand the rules of the world. What's a void out? What's a BT? Who is a Heartman?
Yeah.
So like I think I explained that in some insight where it's like the story is like in Death Stranding 1, which was cool. I love the story in Death Stranding 1, but like a lot of it is like, oh, now go meet Heartman, and you're like, okay, all right, I'm gonna go meet Heartman, and then you meet Heartman, and he's like the coolest guy ever, right? And you're like, oh, I'm totally into this, but like there's no like pull to like, oh man, I gotta go see Heartman now. It's just like, oh, go see Heartman. Now in Death Stranding 2, now that you know who Heartman is, you're like, oh shit, I gotta go see Heartman now. Fuck yeah, dude, what's gonna happen now? And it's like that familiarity, like really, really helps us as an audience to like really like feel really much more invested. And he doesn't have to waste as much time setting things up. It's like, oh, here are the characters, and this is what they're gonna do, and this is what the world is gonna do to them, and this is what they're gonna do to the world. It's awesome.
Yeah. I like the environmental kind of effects going on, like the earthquakes and the sandstorms. I kind of wish there's more of it, I felt like, but I don't know how much you can like really dish that out constantly. Like I know there's a snowy mountain, you can see it, but I just haven't been up there yet. I'm curious. I'm sure there'll be an avalanche and how that kind of shit interacts.
I think that stuff happens way more because you're right that I didn't really see that much around the time that you were part of where you were at in the game. Like you probably had like a forest fire section already.
Yeah.
And like
cool.
like so like you would have missions that like highlight those events, right? And I think once I'm in post game, I'm starting to experience them a lot more, like naturally.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I think it just kind of happens. Like I hadn't seen a forest fire in a long time, and then the other day I did a mission. I was like, oh shit, there's just one here. Fuck,
Yeah.
Or like I'm just passing by and like, oh okay, it's just burning right there. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I gotta say also the other sections that kind of replace the Mads Mikkelsen sections from the first game, like the cliff sections, I think they're done a little better as well, all around. I'm enjoying them more going through them. I think they're just more interesting encounters all around. So yeah, this game's just kind of improving everything on the first game, in my opinion, so far. I haven't really run into anything yet where I'm like, I liked that more in the first game. Maybe that'll happen, but so far I just think 2 is just kind of elevating everything. Of course, it doesn't have that impact of, it being a new IP like the first one did. Like never playing anything like that, but it's extremely well refined, and I'm digging it greatly right now. So yeah, shout out to Kojima. Micah, you're playing Rido. We talked about this yesterday, but
I want to hear more about Rido. You're based for playing that. I want to play that too, but I'm just kind of in Death Stranding mode right now.
Yeah,
but, I'm excited to hear about this.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want like a super in-depth overview, please check out our Summon Sign episode yesterday.
Okay.
But I'm saying that to the audience. But let's get into a bit. If you love like the Persona universe and like the Shin Megami Tensei universe, and you're saying, but I don't know about this not being turn-based, for example,
right?
I really recommend checking it out. I am someone who loves turn-based games. Those are my bread and butter, my favorites. I love a slowed down approach to combat, having time to think it over, like feeling really tactical, like my strategy RPGs and all that. I love that shit. But this action like combat is just very fun and engaging, but it's not complicated at all. This is a very simple approach while still giving you plenty of options. I do not feel bored at all with the battles yet. There are, of course, so many demons to collect. And you're seeing a lot of your familiar favorites from these games if you've played other titles that Atlas has done. So the excitement is always of, ooh, I got to collect this demon. Like it's got that kind of Pokemon addiction going on. Of course, you have the fusions as well, where you're going to, mash up your existing demons to make new ones and get new abilities. But the combat is a really cool mix of just abilities that you have. You have a gun that you can use to fire at like flying enemies. You can fire it at anybody to do chip damage, but the strategy is to use it against like flying types to slow them down or like stall them out basically, so you can get like critical hits easier. You have a sword. You can unlock better swords. You can unlock other types of weapons as you go, but you have sword combat. Your sword attacks, you have a light and a heavy attack. The light attack refills your magic meter, so you don't want to go too heavy all the time or you'll realize that your magic's depleted, and you need to use items instead. But it's just really fun. It's really fun. It's fast paced. You have elemental attacks as well, and those just refresh on a timer. So you just go ahead. You don't have to think about it, really. You just like they refresh and you use them again. You will eventually get too many elemental attacks to have equipped at once, but in battle you can switch everything around. You don't have to say, oh, I brought the wrong demons to this battle, I needed a fire type, I brought an ice type, I gotta leave and come back. None of that. You can switch everything out mid-battle, including your own abilities, which is awesome. Just really makes it so simplistic, but it's not boring. For how simple the combat is to approach, there's no boredom here at all. It really is just fast-paced, fun. Even grinding levels is keeping my interest because you have these areas on the map that are like a rift between the demon world and the human world. And instead of it being like a long, drawn-out dungeon like Mementos or Tartarus, instead you're just doing a wave or two of battles, and then it puts you back where you were. And that approach to kind of grinding out levels is just much more fun to me. And you get rewards for doing those rifts. That's something I forgot to mention on Summon Sign, actually, is as you keep doing those rifts, it's something like every 5 you do, you get a reward. And so you go back and get like an item or something cool. So you're rewarded for doing those, not just with your levels, but also with items. And the maps. You know, you have this like really big city areas, but they're broken up into districts. So each time you like fast travel or move between districts, the map you're actually interacting with is quite small, which is great just for not getting lost and for finding everything you need and progressing through. But the world is like quite large that you're interacting with, which is pretty cool. They just kind of give you these like bite-sized pieces of it to interact with at a time. There are some side missions, but they're like, for the most part, they've been really quick. It might be a single battle. It might be bringing somebody like an item. It might just be an interaction with them. And I'm loving that because, again, when it comes to like leveling up, you see it at first, you're like, oh, side missions, you know, how many of these they're going to give me? You're not overwhelmed by any means. And they're also just been really fast and quick to do. Nice. This is a pretty quick game in general. People that I've talked to personally have said like, oh, I beat this in about 20 hours. And how long to beat lists that you could beat it in like 25-ish on the main story mode. So this is not a huge game to get through. I'm already 7 hours in. And it's broken up into episodes, which also really makes you feel like you're making progress. Yeah, so I'm on episode 3, I believe. And that's just another great kind of measure so that, you know, you're progressing. And the story itself is really interesting. It's set in the 1930s. Your first case, you know, as a detective is this high school girl's gone missing. And it just like branches out from there with all these things being connected. And I love it. I'm really loving it. I was very skeptical about this game when I first, you know, saw it, but I said I want to try it because I love Atlas and I love the Persona universe, and I said I want to try something different, and I'm really glad I checked it out. I'm excited to play more of it tonight. I'd also say too, really respectful of your time in terms of being very generous with saves. Like before any major moment, there's always a place to save, but you also have like the quick save option, which just creates one of those like special save slots that like, and it's not one of those you can only use it once either. So I just like that because this is a game you can sit down, and if you get interrupted 10 minutes into playing it, just hit a quick save and you're not going to lose progress. You don't have to worry about that. I just appreciate that as an adult who's busy and random shit happens all the time. I hate the feeling of, oh my God, I just sat down to play this. I'm not going to be able to save for like an hour. You know, some of like the old school style games, they're really cool, but it sucks when you realize I either need to shut this off or hopes nothing happens if I just leave it here. But I highly recommend it, Gene. And it is a shorter game. So this is something you could hopefully get to, later on once you're done with Death Stranding and God knows what else coming out this year. There's so much to get to. But I really do love it and really do recommend it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you sold it great, Micah.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. So yeah, very cool.
I think the one thing I'll say, and it's not even a negative, it's just if you love the music in the Persona games, this game has some familiar tunes, but it doesn't have like a big standout song or anything. That is the only like little caveat like I'll put on it, is that if one of the things you love about, Persona, 3, 4, and 5 like, is the music, this has some catchy tunes during battle and like familiar sound effects from the games that you'll recognize. But I will say there's not like some big musical number that you're like, oh my God, I'm going to listen to that when I work out. It does, and that's interesting to me. It's just, that's like the only thing lacking. And I only say that just because I love the music in the Persona games. It's always legendary. Stands out. Yeah. And we played Persona music at the wedding, okay? Like, we love the Persona music. Yeah. That's the only thing I'll say. If you're a really big fan of that, like their soundtracks, it's not bad. It is not bad. It's not Xenoblade Chronicles X, okay? But there's no like standout song in there that you're like, man, I'm going to listen to this later.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, guys. Anything else you want to talk about, or should we move on?
No, that's it for me.
No, none of us are playing Persona or Persona 5X, huh?
No, I actually thought about it.
Is.
Right?
I'm confused.
I think it's a gacha game.
It's a gacha game.
And I still don't quite understand what that means.
Think Xenoblade 2 with getting the blades. You have a random chance.
Okay, yeah.
But I've heard it's good. Rogers Base said
it
was good when he's played of it. He spent like 15 hours, maybe more now.
I would trust him. I'd trust him on that.
But yeah, I do want to take a peek, but
yeah, if he does like a video on it or something, I'll check that out. Yeah, because I'm curious, strictly because I love Persona, as we've just said, but I don't know about that for me.
No, I get it. I get it, Micah. I'm not like pumped about it. I'm not like, oh, fuck yeah, gotcha. Look, Persona game.
Because actually, Gene, this is something. In Raidou, so your demons have field skills, very much like the blades in, Xenoblade 2.
Oh, wow.
And so sometimes there will be like, one of your demons can read minds. Sometimes you have to do that for a mission. It's slightly annoying because that is an example of, I don't have a demon that can do this. I got to fuse one or find one. But they make it pretty simple for you. If you already registered that demon, there's always like the registration system in these games to like call them back, or they're just usually like multiple demons will have the same ability. There's not only one demon that can read minds. It's like multiple of the fairy types, let's say, can do that. So it can be slightly annoying if you're like, I got to go find that demon. But it really isn't as bad as it seems. It's not like the field types, the field skills in Xenoblade 2 where you're really at the mercy of the RNG on if you get that or not. This is, okay, I got to go back to that area where those demons are common and go find one. In that way, it's a little more Pokemon-ish of you can at least expect like those demons usually hang out here versus just like a random gotcha mechanic. I guess now I can use that word instead of just like a random mechanic of hoping you get one that can read minds. You can figure out where they are. But that is another neat thing that I do like is they have these field abilities that are quite varied and you use those for the side missions and also just throughout like the investigation. Like electric type demons can do like a scan of the area for hidden items and like stuff like that. So that's just another feature that I do like, but on the surface looks like it could be annoying. It really hasn't been though.
All right. Very nice. Okay, let's move on to our next thing right here. As we all know, some Switch 1 games got upgrades on the Switch 2, run better resolution, frame rate, and all that kind of stuff. Digital Foundry put out a huge video on all this kind of stuff, which is like 30 something minutes. So if you want to deep dive with them, go ahead and check that out. It's very good. But I got some of the numbers right here, just translated for you all. Link's Awakening is now 1620p, and it was on 720p to 900p on Switch 1. So quite a jump, and it runs at 60 frames, pretty stable, so that's great. Echoes of Wisdom is 1620p, kind of the same thing on here. It was 720 to 900p. Super Mario Odyssey is at 1800p, up from 720p to 900p on the Switch 1. Another big jump. Splatoon 3 is mostly 2160p, up from 720 or 1080p on the Switch. Super Mario 3D World is 1800p, up from 720 to 1080. Bowser's Fury is 1656p, to 1800p, up from 720. Captain Toad is 1440 from 1080, and New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe is 2160, up from 1080. So very nice resolution bumps. I'm very happy about this. Of course, the frame rate has been great also. Micah, is there anything that stands out to you here? We all know you can't see frame rate or resolution, though, so let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised at Echoes of Wisdom. Like, it's like if you told me Echoes of Wisdom wasn't running at 1080, I would have been surprised. For all the people who have eyes, I'm very thrilled for you. For everyone who can see, I'm very happy for you. I haven't gotten LASIK yet, all right? So I'm thrilled to see these numbers. It's great. This is good. No, this is in no way bad. But do I appreciate it? No. I thought Link's Awakening was fantastic on Switch 1. I had a great time.
Gene, anything standing out to you here?
No, I mean, not at all, because I did all this when we got the Switch 2. I played every single game on this list except for Captain Toad because I don't own that. So no, not at all. I played it, I looked at it, and I found the exact information they did, except that they actually decided to write it down and enumerate it.
Yeah, I tried a lot of these as well, but I like seeing the actual hard number and knowing what it actually is. So that's cool for people like me, but happy to see it. Hopefully more Switch games will keep getting stuff like this because there's still a lot that need them. Xenoblade Trilogy.
Yeah,
can really use that.
I mean, Mario Odyssey looks like night and day in terms of
Mario Odyssey looks crazy good.
How sharp it is, and also Splatoon 3. I booted up Splatoon 3 too, and that runs so beautifully. It looks so nice.
Yeah,
I might
get into that game again. So, sorry, Mike, go ahead.
No, I'm going to say I agree with Brad. I can agree with Brad about Xenoblade because even I could see that there's something wrong with those. The real issues, like with Xenoblade 1 and 2 that I experienced are just that in battles, the more enemies that appear, just like it starts really chugging. And that's when you really will see it. Like you jump up in the air and it's like, like really, really slow. Even I can see that. And that would happen if in those games, it's always really fun, but like more enemies will just join your battle while it's actively happening. But it's like, no, stop. There's too many of you in here. And it's just like slows way down. Even I noticed that. And the pop-in was absurd. You would walk, like as you're walking, things are just popping in at your feet, not like 10 feet away. It's like right next to you.
I think they fixed the pop-in, but they didn't fix the resolution. So that's the issue.
So a little better, at least. That's good.
Yeah, it's a little better. I think the pop-in, because they did do the patch, so I think the pop-in was addressed, but everything else kind of not at all. They just maximized it and made it run okay on the Switch too.
Yeah, maybe when they get closer to their next game.
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge thing for me. Like these are all great games, but like I already played the hell out of them. But Xenoblade needs the most love out of all of these. Super Mario Odyssey still look fucking great on the Switch 1. Honestly, Super Mario 3D World all look great. Link's Awakening, Echoes of Wisdom. Yeah, I think those. I'm not like Micah. I think those definitely needed a sprucing up. But so those are good. But like, I'm not aching to play those games again, because especially since I just played Echoes of Wisdom last year, and I just completed Link's Awakening around that time too. So it's like I'm good. I'm playing this. I'm not going to play these for a long, long time. But Xenoblade, I've been aching to get back into those, and it'd be nice to just see those look really good. So,
it'd be great if they did a Xenoblade collection, 1, 2, and 3, plus the Torna, DLC and whatever. Like that'd be fantastic.
And what is the final one called? Future something? Or is that something else?
Future Redeemed.
Future Redeemed, yeah. So that'd be cool. They did all that for Switch too.
Future Redeemed too, yeah, for sure.
All right, Sonic fans, we had some good news for you before, but this may be bad news for you. Maybe, depending on what you want out of Sonic. Sonic Adventure Remakes 1, 2, not happening right now, at least. In an interview with Shaq News, Sonic team boss Takashi Iizuka stated this when asked about Sonic Adventure 2 remake / remaster. I do hear that a lot. I am really appreciative for everyone who likes the Sonic Adventure series, but when I think about what it would take to kind of bring that game up to the standards and expectations of what the modern gaming audience would want, I think it would be about as much time and energy as it would to make a new title. Part of me is thinking maybe I should just make a brand new title, and that's why there's currently no plans for this. So, Gene, what do you think about this as a Sonic enjoyer?
Yeah, I love the Sonic Adventure games. I think they were incredible from when they released. But he is right in that it would take so much. If you played these games, it would take so much to remake these. You would need to remake them from the top, bottom. You would need to redirect the cutscenes. You need to do all the voiceovers again. You need to fix the fucking animations, man. Because like Micah knows, she watched the Game Grumps. I'm sure she watched the Game Grumps playthroughs, but like, Sonic's mouth goes like you know, like the whole time. So like it does not work. And you know me, I'm the kind of guy who'd be like, oh, you should accept games for what they were back in the day. But it's like, if you were going to try to remake this, re-release it. Sure. I would love just playable versions on modern consoles. Totally. Just re-release it and keep it as is. But if you want to remake these in like a Sonic Frontiers type, that's going to be a whole Last of Us 2, not even Last of Us 2. That's a whole Resident Evil 4 remake situation right there. Resident Evil 2 remake, if anything, where you basically just redoing the whole game, you probably have to redo the levels. The controls were so fucked up in Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. They only worked with one analog stick. There was no real camera control, so it's like this would just be a completely entirely new game. That's just so much resources to dedicate to. If Sonic Team had the size of Call of Duty, then but they don't. So
right, yeah, I'm fond of Sonic Adventure 1 particularly. I really liked the hub-based kind of stuff in that game, and I have fond memories playing it. But yeah, I don't know if we need a remake for those games. Just a remaster would be great. Like you're saying, just put it on modern consoles, up the frame rate, or maybe, or if you can, or at least the resolution would be awesome. I'd be pretty happy with that. Micah, this just means, though, there's going to be no Game Grumps episode of this in the future. What do you think about this?
Well, actually, so 5 months ago, because I double checked, I was like, they just replayed Sonic Adventure 2. Now, that was 5 months ago. They did a new, and they had played that years ago, and they played it again. I don't think they finished it the first time, but I do really respect this guy saying that to do it right, it would essentially be creating a whole new title, and I'd rather make something new. I really respect that. I respect to say that instead of just slapping a sticker on it and banking on people's nostalgia, that he'd want to do it right. The flip side is that I would be cool with it being not super polished and just being playable. Just let me play it on Switch too. And yeah, it's not going to be exactly maybe what I wanted, but I would be happy enough with it. So it's like, maybe we can meet in the middle somewhere. It doesn't have to be this grand like realization of what this game would have been if it was made in 2025. Give me like the half measure of just make it run well and let the fans play it if they choose. But I do really respect what he's saying, because I think that takes a lot of integrity, just because it's true. That's like, this would be just a total cash grab. I'd fucking buy it. I'd buy it in a heartbeat. And I'd probably would later regret it because I like watching Game Grumps play it again. They're like, this doesn't play as well as I remembered. It's like, it does not.
Right.
But it also too, in the world of what seems like endless remakes, remasters, reboots, and entertainment, it's nice to hear someone say, I want to just keep making things that are new instead of expending the time on an older entry in the series. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah. They do revisit old games, like we just had Sonic Generations, the Shadow thing and stuff like that. They added new content to it, of course, which is cool, but yeah, I'm fine with it.
Restraint is what I should say.
Instead of just, I suppose,
because people are asking about it constantly. They know people want it, but they are showing restraint of like, well, if we want to do it right, we want to do it this way. Just
get a remaster out if you're not gonna. If you're not going to remake it, just do a remaster. You'll at least sell for that. Pretty decent.
I'm all for that. I'll even buy the game key card. All right.
Yeah.
You got me.
Damn, Micah's first. It only took that hedgehog. Wow.
Jeez,
Micah. All right. let's see here. Mario Kart World had an update recently that's pissed some people off. And I just thought it was funny because I was recently playing Mario Kart. Just the whole TLDR on is people are now upset that when you select a random course in multiplayer, it includes intermission races when it used to only include 3-lap tracks. Micah, you've played some Mario Kart. How do you feel about this? Do you dislike the intermission races and all that kind of stuff? Do you wish you could just do the 3-lap tracks?
Honestly, after playing Knockout Tour, I find the 3-lap tracks just not be as exciting. Like Knockout Tour broke my brain. It gave me the Fortnite syndrome of like, this is so much more chaotic. This is so much more like the dopamine rush of like, I'm going to beat you guys and you're out of here. Like that feeling, it really ups the competitive factor for me. So I got so enamored with Knockout Tour that I found the 3-lap races to not be as exciting. I admit though, I don't love the intermission stretches. When I did want to just play a 3-lap race, it's like, I don't want to race to the race. I get why they did it. I understand, like, this is a cool concept, but I don't love it. And I sympathize with the players who aren't loving it either. But for me personally, every time I fire up Mario Kart World, I'm playing Knockout Tour. That just is like what's it called at the casino, the Rolodexy thingy, the slot machine. Like that's how I feel when I'm playing Mario Kart like Knockout Tour. I'm like like I love it. It's just so much more exciting and engaging for me. That's how I'm just playing that game when I'm firing it up. It's like it's gotta be Knockout Tour or what the fuck am I doing here, you know?
Gene, how do you feel about this?
I said this before. I love the intermission tracks, so it doesn't affect me whatsoever. I love playing them. I think they're cool. I think they're a nice stretch of just chilling and just like racing and battling. You know, on a beautiful stretch of road on a freeway, or you know, just feeling cross country. For me, it's a great signifier of just how connected and great this world is. So it doesn't affect me whatsoever. I love it.
Yeah, I'm kind of more in line with you, Gene. Just because I've played a ton of Mario Kart throughout my life, I'm kind of cool with something different. But I don't know, maybe if I played more and more of the game, like people play this game a lot, so maybe
people are playing this game a lot, And I'm also with Micah that Knockout Tour is the only mode I'm going to be playing anyway, so it doesn't matter. So
yeah, here comes Don Matrick, and he's like, "Well, if you don't like the intermission races, you can play Mario Kart 8." You know?
Exactly, exactly.
Is that the right guy? Is that the meme
yes,
I'm thinking of?
That's correct, man. Yeah, you got
the meme correct.
Pre-Phil Spencer.
We'll see. Yeah, pre-Phil Spencer. We'll see if they patch it or if they address it in some way. I don't know if it'll even matter. Who knows? But Mario Kart will get plenty of updates in the future. We'll just have to wait and see. All right. This one's just for me. Physical Turok Trilogy coming. I love Turok 1 and 2 particularly. These are old N64 games. Night Dive Studios is doing this. You know, Atari, shout out to our friend Jason over there. Night Dive's always doing great work. And I kind of want to revisit these. I wasn't as big of a fan as 3, but I love 1 and 2 back in the day. So maybe I'll revisit these games. They've been out for a while, remasters, but it's cool that it's getting a triple pack physical. So that's really rad. Gene, what's your history with Turok, if any?
I played them back in the day. I thought they were cool. I loved the comics itself, Turok the comics. So, but when I played them, I wasn't blown away with them like most people were. I don't understand why they were so like landmark games.
I didn't have a PC, so that's probably why.
That's probably it. Yeah, because at that time I've already been playing like PC games, PC shooters. So, and I played GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. So it's like. I think
this was before GoldenEye. At least 1, I think, was Turok 1.
Was it?
I think so. I'll look it up.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, just overall, like I don't have this strange attachment to Turok that not strange. Again, people who didn't grow up with PC, it was probably revelatory. It's like playing Halo, and thinking Halo was the greatest thing, and it's like that's just a PC shooters,
So a couple months before GoldenEye.
Interesting. Okay.
Same year,
All right. All right. Well, then that makes sense. Then, yeah. If this is your first real 3D first-person shooter, then yeah, that totally makes sense. But
Yeah, I think so. I played Doom, of course, on PC back in the day. I was able to play that, but all the other FPSs I missed out on. But I just remember
at that point, I was already playing Quake.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
At
play
that
Quake.
point, I was already playing Quake, so it's like whatever, this doesn't matter. Quake is like way faster, way prettier,
Yeah. Turok had really sick weapons, I remember. A lot of really
It
cool
did have
shit.
cool weapons. It was a cool game, like for that, Yeah.
Yeah. Fog Fiesta in this game, though. There's fog everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Classic N64. But yeah, cool ass game. The first two, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll revisit 3. But yeah, shout out Turok. Mike, are you going to play Turok? Dinosaur Hunter?
I don't know. I have never played this before. I do love dinosaurs, but I don't know if I want to hunt them. Like,
You
as
hunt
my
dinosaurs,
it's going to conflict with that because I fucking love dinosaurs, man. But
they're trying to kill you, yeah. So you're gonna take them out.
and I've
And
never
there's
seen
humans you
Jurassic
take out too,
Park. So I don't have.
You've never
that.
seen Jurassic Park? Wow.
Now, I've seen the part where Newman gets eaten, and then I looked away and I didn't watch the rest.
Newman!
I didn't like it one bit. I am tempted by this because if you put a triple pack on physical for $40, that's a good value.
Pretty sick. Night Dive.
I might check it out. I might.
Mm.
Let me look at some gameplay footage first. But this is a maybe for me because I do like dinosaurs and I do like guns.
I could see a lot of people playing Turok now and be like, this makes me feel sick. Because I remember the movement was just fucking crazy.
Oh, is it gonna make me feel sick? because I'm
I don't know.
one of those
I have
people.
no idea.
I can't play like VR. VR makes me instantly ill.
Yeah, take a peek at it before you buy it.
Because actually, it was was it Secret of Mana that got put on like PS4 first, and I couldn't play it because that made me nauseous. Just the way that when you move like towards the edge of the screen and just scrolls the screen, and it made me so nauseous. I played it for like an hour, and I was like, I can't, and I never played the rest of it. Like that's just an example of like an old school game. It's like I can't do this. The way that screen was like scrolling through, and it was the same with I think it's Animal Crossing on Wii is the one where the world's really round, and that also made me feel sick.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I have a problem with any type of like strange movement in games, and I have a problem.
You're gonna have a problem. All right. Next thing we got here. This just came out recently, maybe today. Donkey Kong Bananza team. We finally know who it is. I'm going to read this from Eurogamer.
I hope it's Bloober Team.
It's Bloober Team. You got it. But yeah, there was an event where a bunch of people played Donkey Kong. And at the event, Nintendo confirmed that what we all suspected, Donkey Kong Bananza, the upcoming platformer heading to Switch 2, is being held by the team who brought us Super Mario Odyssey. So that adds up. Everyone was just saying how much this game looked like Odyssey. It definitely has some of that DNA. I don't know if it's how much of the team from Odyssey, but it definitely has some people on Odyssey.
The store where you buy clothes for Donkey Kong is exactly the same
Odyssey.
as Mario Odyssey. It's exactly the same. It's the same UI. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So, but if this game's as good as Odyssey, man, we're in good hands. We're in good shape. So, very happy to see this. Nintendo's very... we don't know who's like directing it necessarily and all that kind of stuff, but Nintendo's always very cagey about all that kind of stuff. So we won't know.
Maybe another Game of the Year contender, right?
Yes. Oh, I think it will be 100%. I think it's going to be. But we won't know for sure.
Won't win after we just won Astrobot last year, and it's like, man, we could have a nice streak of platformer games. But
yeah, I believe in the Kong, Gene. Mm-hmm. I trust in my Kongs. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
At least get best of family game. I mean, I feel like that's going to be a slam dunk. Because this is just a stacked year. For Game of the Year, I got a little heated yesterday, I admit. But I can, in retrospect, say that I understand this is a very stacked year.
Didn't you say you would kill yourself of Expedition 1 or something like that?
I did say that, and I hold to that, but...
Oh my God, that's crazy. Wow, we're really the biggest network of Expedition 33 haters.
We're haters.
Well, I'm not a hater, dog. It's just like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2... I can't express how much I love that game. And I will say my own bias. It's largely because after my grandma died and I was like, this is escapism on a level I've never felt before. I'm
Oh,
washing
okay.
myself, I'm eating, I'm making friends, I'm training. It really was just like I am Henry, all right? So that game is special to me on a level that probably nothing else ever will be. And
You're
if
right.
Expedition 33 wins Game of the Year, I'm going to kill myself.
You're right that a lot of people who play KCD 2 are like, don't forget KCD 2. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, don't forget,
good
man.
reminder. I need to
It was
finish
so
KCD
early
1.
in the year. It was
No, you're
so
right.
early in the year.
I need to finish KCD 1. I still have that installed. I'm going to go back to that soon. Maybe that'll be my project after Death Stranding. Finally,
That'd be cool.
But yeah, like this is just such a stacked year. You have because I'm not even saying who's going to be like a major contender, but just things that came out this year: Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, a new Doom, Expedition 33, Death Stranding
Doom's not
2.
making it.
I'm not saying it's going to make it, Bradley,
Doom's
but it's
not
going to be
making
like
it.
in the shooter category or something. Just in terms of big names. In terms of big names this year, it is so easy to forget a game that came out in fucking February because it has just been like name after name of like man, I can't even believe how many great things have come out this year. And then add to it Donkey Kong's coming out, Ghost of Yote's coming out. Like there's just so much to look forward to this year still, that this is a year that I'm going to say I really can't be upset if my favorite doesn't win, because there was just so many good games. I'm going to be upset though, but I logically I understand I shouldn't be.
Man, I hope Lost Soul Aside is so good it gets nominated for Game of the Year. That'd be awesome. I doubt it, though. All right. Final story right here. Elden Ring Tarnished Edition has been rated by the ESRB. That means it's coming pretty soon. And Bandai Namco is doing their summer showcase, which is airing on Wednesday. So by the time you guys hear this, you'll probably already know. I expect to see the date there for this. And the Tarnished Edition, if you didn't know, comes with a couple extra cosmetics. And there's 2 new starting classes and, some armor sets that weren't in the base game. But fear not, you don't have to buy the Switch 2 version to get those. Those will be added as DLC for every other platform. Micah, I didn't forget. Whoa, thunder. That was loud.
Yeah, jeez.
Holy moly. You can't
God
escape.
is unhappy with me.
Yeah.
Oh, was that thunder around you, Micah?
Yeah, that was her.
Yeah.
It's crazy thunderstorms here too. Yeah.
It's just starting now, I guess.
Okay, yeah. I guess you're getting what we just had. So interesting.
Yeah. You have to play Elden Ring, Mike. I didn't forget.
No, I'm fucking gonna play it, dude.
Oh,
like you
right.
don't have to, dog. You don't have to remind me. All
right,
right. Like I made that promise as a joke a long time ago that if Elden Ring came to Switch, I'd play it. And then when they actually announced it, I'm like, I'm fucking buying this, dude. Like, I'm fucking buying that. And I'm really excited. I got resources. All right. Our friend Mike, he told me straight up, he's like, when you start that game, let me know. I'll give you all the pointers. I'll help you get acclimated.
Dude,
and
everyone is ready to help you in that game. Everyone is jumping down.
We're like Spider-Man 2, lifting Micah up, and we're like, no, she's one of us. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say we're like Mary
wait.
Jane looking like Rocky Dennis electrocuting everyone.
No, I'm super excited for this. I will not make a promise to beat the game because I don't know if I can, but I promise I'm going to try it. I feel a little more confident though. Like I beat, Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and 2, and those are challenging.
Yeah, those are challenging.
Like I feel like I can play a challenging game. So I'm excited. The thing about Elden Ring is I have never, I won't say never, when like Neo came out and like Sekiro, those looked really cool, but I was like, I'm just not into Souls games. Elden Ring really was like, this setting is one that I just really want to experience. I don't know if I'll like it, but this is the first time that I'm like, this is a Souls game and I must try it simply because of the setting and the world. So like this is the first one that's really roped me in like that. And watching Colin play it, and he gave it the old college try. I think he played it for like 20 hours or something. Yeah. So he just ended up being like, I just don't want to play more of this. But it made me want to play it even more watching him go through it.
Hell yeah. Okay. We'll never let you forget. You'll be there. Going to Limgrave, Micah.
Yeah, Colin.
I'm gonna be maidenless.
Colin actually plays the games. I think he just doesn't like the experience. Period. He doesn't like being.
He doesn't really like having to figure stuff out.
The
I've
pressure,
realized.
yeah. Like, like that's where the whole mini map conversation comes in for Expedition 33, where he's like, no, like I need to figure out like what I finish, and it's like, no, you don't. Just fucking do it. You don't need a visual check mark to tell you that you're a good boy. Just go finish the fucking quest and just do it. There's not that many areas in Expedition 33 to play. Just go do it.
I mean, I skipped like all the side stuff because I just simply didn't want to do it. But if you're someone like Colin who loves Far Cry checklist games, it's just one of those like, yeah, like it's the fun of seeing the list get filled out. Or like when he was playing Borderlands 1 and 2 this year and he was like going through the mission log, he's like, look at all the ones I did. Like he loves just seeing the list of progression. Similar though to like when I'm reading a really long book, I have to have the paperback because on Kindle, it doesn't convey to me how much I've read. Like it'll say 70% complete. I simply must see the bookmark moving because otherwise it feels like the book's going on forever. And so when it comes to a book that's over like 800 pages, it's like I gotta see the actual book dwindling away. And I feel like he feels that way in gaming of like he wants to see the game getting ticked all the boxes. So he's like, yeah, I'm at 80% done. Whereas Expedition 33 was like, just play it, just play. But it's not telling you.
It's really funny that Colin is complaining that the game made by 3 former Ubisoft devs is not Ubisoft enough.
Yeah, they were like, we're so sick of this shit. We're not making our game like that. Yeah.
Also, it completely explains why he loves Death Stranding so much, because Death Stranding is like a lot of boxes, and it does that very well, which I love. I love that too. So.
He's over 70 hours in by now on Death Stranding 1 because he's still working on that.
That is crazy.
It's like,
man, he is completing the shit out of that game. That's great. I love that.
He is. I've watched him deliver pizzas and shit, and I'm like, what is happening here?
All right, time to end the show with some write-ins from the audience. If you want to write in the show, I post a thread on our Patreon every Sunday calling for your submissions, so keep an eye out there. This is from Darren Mifsud. Hey there, Donkey Punchers. I have a little hypothetical idea that I would love all of your thoughts on. So Sonic the Hedgehog came out in 1991. By this time, we were already up to Super Mario World on SNES. If Sonic had come out on the Super Nintendo platform instead of Sega Genesis, would it have been as big of a hit? Would people have cared as much, or was the hype simply from Sega fans that finally had a platformer mascot? I think the Blue Blur would have found a deserved cult following, but would it not have lasted? He wasn't needed by Nintendo as he was for Sega. Thanks, Brad. I followed you to LSM, and I love every personality here because of your great differences. From Darren. Wow, thanks, Darren.
Thank you, Darren. Wow, what a mature and
not cool. Gooner perverted message.
No, what the hell? Yeah, just
and he didn't threaten to kill himself either.
True, yeah,
and a fairly introspective question. Incredible. I don't know what to do with this information.
Yeah. So, Gene, what do you think? Do you think Sonic would be as big if it wasn't on Genesis? If it was on Super Nintendo?
That's a really smart question, because it's like, man, like the whole attraction of Sonic, the how Sonic got his big deal was because it was the other guy. It was
the other dude.
It was the Trump to Nintendo's Hillary Clinton, which is such a bad. I'm sorry for that allegory. It's just a really bad one. But it's just the other guy. It was just the other guy. So, and there were so many other mascots that that appeared on Super Nintendo. Aero the Acrobat is one that I always remember for some reason. Rocket Knight, of course. I love Rocket Knight.
Yeah, Rocket Knight.
Klonoa, on PlayStation and all that stuff. And it's like all of these characters just kind of fell by the wayside. And you might argue that some of these games are just better than Sonic, and Sonic was good. And I think Sonic would be popular, but I think I do kind of see that Sonic would just be a little bit more niche now, and just you probably wouldn't have movies, these blockbuster movies, or it'll take a really long time for those to get made versus, just how popular he is now. And I think a big part of it was the fact that he was the leader of Sega Genesis,
Yeah, I agree, dude. What do you think, Micah?
Bradley, to quote Shakespeare, would a Whopper by any other name smell as sweet? I agree that this Gene is just taking psychic damage from this. I would like to think that Sonic would be just as popular because I think it's cool. Hear me out. Despite the fact that I find the games often lack the quality that I would desire, I do think Sonic as a general franchise has a lot going for it. Like the character designs are cool. They got variety with and everything. Tails, whatever. Eggman's great. Like I feel like it would still be popular. But it is important to note that, yeah, all their marketing and Sega does what Nintendo don't, the rivalry, and it was about liking one or the other. It was the McDonald's versus Burger King, and Sonic is clearly Burger King in this example. Okay, now hear me out. Burger King has the best fries of any fast food place. I'm giving them their flowers, all right?
Oh, shit.
I'd like to think, though, that there would have been room enough on Nintendo for everybody and that it still would have been extremely popular just because it's cool. Look, he's going really fast. Like the whole point that he's going fast and Eggman's got robots and shit. I would have liked to believe that it still would have been super successful. But this is an interesting exercise of, what would have happened if they weren't competitors in the same sense? And how would that have played out? I do wonder if it wouldn't have taken off quite the same because they didn't have like this rivalry going.
Right. I think Sonic would still be around today.
Yeah.
Because when did the Dreamcast die? Like 2000, Gene, or something like that? Or it's been like 25 years or close to 25 years.
It was like 2002, 2003 or something.
Yeah. So over 20 years, Sonic's been, not on a Sega platform, and he's still popular to this day. I mean, a bunch of kids love Sonic now, so there is something to this hedgehog besides just being on a rival console at the time. I mean, I wish there was a new Sonic fans, but it's still happening, so...
Look, man, without Sonic, we wouldn't have had Chris Chan. Liquid Chris, all right? Like...
That was an impersonator. That was a different guy.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, in all these things,
the
you
saga,
wouldn't have any of this. You wouldn't have Sonic Chew. You wouldn't have Liquid Chris.
We would be better off without that, I think.
Are you kidding me? We'd be better off without, like, a 40-hour documentary.
Some of his family members would probably be better off if you know what he's done.
I still keep hoping I'll run into him at like the local Walmart.
Dude, it's
because
gonna
that
happen.
Is like the Chris Chan Walmart of lore.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, dude. One day you're gonna see him there.
And I'm gonna do nothing. I'm gonna do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, probably won't even notice. Actually, how could you not notice Chris Chan?
Well, yeah, because what if he's wearing like the striped shirt of legend,
Yeah, and the Sonic Chew medallion, yeah.
Exactly. If he's like rocking around wearing that, you kind of gotta say something.
Gotta. All right, this is from Sammy. Hey, Punchers. Seeing our cool and collected Death Stranding enjoyer Gene Park speak his truth against the ravenous Expedition 33 fans on the Iron Lords podcast last Sunday was a joy. Do you think people will get this bananas when Donkey Kong inevitably joins the Go discussion when it comes out in the upcoming weeks? Or do Expedition 33 fans just really love that French underdog story of 30-ish developers and a dog? Shout out to Cog for being a messy bitch and instigating the community. What do you think, Gene?
Here's the thing. Did you guys see that Jason Schreier Blue Sky post?
Yes,
I did.
Yeah, where he said hot take or something, but I like Avowed more than Expedition 33. I want to be clear. I think he's crazy for saying that. I think he's crazy for liking Avowed more than Expedition 33. I completely agree with every single person who is clowning him for that. I think Avowed is not a great game. It's a fine game,
Mm-hmm.
But like I even said that the campfire scenes in Avowed are like pale in comparison to like how well written the Expedition 33 camp scenes are, right? And a lot of it is the fact that it's not like dialogue choice driven, that is like, oh, what if they want to romance the blah, 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 the blue person, blah, 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 and then let's fucking write this sort of it. No, Expedition 33 is like, no, let's write a story about these characters, It's funny I say that because then you can just pretty much sleep with anybody in Expedition 33 too, which is annoying. That's my least favorite thing about the character interactions in Expedition 33. Like, I don't think the romance was needed, but they're also French and they're very horny, so... whatever, That said, I think Jason Schreier says that because it aligns with what I believe. I think if you played a ton of JRPGs, and Jason Schreier is a huge lover of like very niche JRPGs, he plays them all. If you played a lot of JRPGs, you're gonna be like, Expedition 33 is great. That's it. You're not gonna think this greatest game of all time because it's not new to you at all because you've played other games that do this exactly.
Right.
And again, that comment will say that I'm a hater of Expedition 33. And it's like, no, I'm saying Expedition 33 does a lot of things correctly and beautifully and was able to weave those things together to make people love it. I think that's a huge feat. It's just that if you played Xenoblade Chronicles or Yakuza Infinite Wealth or Tales or Suikoden or Paper Mario or Mario Luigi Superstar, all of those games, then none of this is new at all. It's not some revolutionary game that just comes out of nowhere. It's a good game. It's a great game. Fantastic game for me. I think I like Expedition 33 more than anyone else in Last Stand Media, to be quite honest. Maybe even more than Manny. Maybe around the same as Manny because he counts it around like his top 30. And I was like, yeah, I think top 30 is pretty good, for me too. But top 30 is very flexible, and if you just played a lot of JRPGs, like that it's just not that impressive. And I had people in Ireland saying, well, I play a lot of JRPGs, and it's like, have you really though? Or have you just played every single Final Fantasy,
Right.
And probably not even that. Like, have you even played Final Fantasy 4 or 3 or 2, or 11, which I haven't even played, or 13.
We should change that, dude.
Like
let's
Final
get into Final Fantasy 11, Gene, you and me.
I know, yeah, we should do it.
I'll run through with you.
But Final Fantasy 13 is so similar to Expedition 33, in so many ways, and a lot of people just don't see that because you didn't fucking play Final Fantasy 13 because you
I was there, dude. I remember. I'm seeing all this revisionist history on Final Fantasy 13. Mm-hmm. I was there. I fucking remember, man.
I was there too. I hated that game too. I was completely part of the mob. If there were pictures of the digital mob back then, you could see me with the torches raised up and saying, "This game fucking sucks. This game makes no fucking sense. I hate that it's so linear." I was saying all that shit, and I replayed it. And I was like, now that I got all that out of the way, I was like, the game's not bad for what it is,
Mm-hmm.
And Expedition 33 gave me a lot of Final Fantasy 13 vibes. A lot more. It does a lot more to FF13 for sure.
Yeah,
totally. The quests, the story is great. But I don't know what the original question was. Or do fans really just love the French underdog story? Yeah. I think people who just don't have a ton of experience or who only play Final Fantasy are enamored by this game, and I totally get that. If you're only coming from Final Fantasy, then yeah, this game is a revelation to you. I understand that.
Yeah, maybe the newer Final Fantasies as well.
Exactly. Yeah. If you've only been playing like 12 to 16, or if you started at 10 and you're like, oh my god, 10 was the best one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then here is a game that captures the best qualities of 10 and puts it into a modern context. It's beautiful game. I love it. Again, if it won Game of the Year, I'm starting to sound like Hogue now, but like yelling about Expedition 33. But it's like, yeah, if it won Game of the Year, I'd be very happy. I would not be mad about it at all.
Yeah.
But me personally, I like Death Stranding 2 more. I like to play it more. I'm not saying that the story is better.
I am.
Oh, there you go. See,
I'm saying it.
I think that a lot more exciting shit happens in the story, even if it still has some of that Kojima messiness.
It does.
But like the emotional highs, like just really punch you in the face, and you're just in the first half, and it's like. But I like the story better too. But I also understand that Expedition 33 is just a tighter, cleaner story overall.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. 100%.
But like for me, like the reason why I like Death Stranding 2 more is because the gameplay, and the gameplay and the stories serve each other completely. If anything, the story is in service of the gameplay. And if you know anything about me, I care deeply more about gameplay than I do about a story. There's a whole reason why I prefer Resident Evil 4, even the original, way over The Last of Us. Are you kidding me? Last of Us doesn't even compare to close to what I feel about Resident Evil 4. But that's because The Last of Us does have a better story. Resident Evil 4 just has had a better gameplay, you know. And Death Stranding 2 just has more unique gameplay. Yes, it's a sequel, right? It is a AAA sequel. I understand that. But it is a sequel to a game that still isn't being made. Oh, yeah, it's a lot like Phantom Pain. You know what? There's not a lot of fucking games that play like Phantom Pain right now, too, either.
Yeah, you're just comparing it to his past games. That's about it.
Yeah, we're just comparing it to the games that only Kojima makes, you know? And then so here comes Kojima making the only kind of game that he can make, you know?
Yeah.
And also, Kojima hasn't really had flowers for Game of the Years at all, you know? Phantom Pain didn't win Game of the Year.
No, didn't, and neither did Death Stranding. I think it got nominated, though.
Got nominated, you know, but it didn't win. So it's like, for me, it's like when Scorsese won Best Picture for The Departed. That's not even close to his best movie of all, you know. But that's the only movie where he won a Best Picture for it. It's because, you know, he made a good movie, he made a great movie, and it came out that year. And it's like, okay, well, let's give Scorsese some flowers. And then so for me, it's like the Expedition 33 team is young, you know. I'm excited to. I think their next project is gonna fucking knock it out of the park. You know, it's gonna be incredible. And then I'd be happy to give it flowers back then. But it's like for me, as somebody who thinks about like people giving people their flowers, I think Kojima should get Game of the Year. But he probably won't because, you know, again, a lot of the games journalists, you know, you guys are on the side of games journalists here, man. Games journalists fucking are glazing Expedition 33 to heaven and back. You know. Yeah,
you should be ashamed of yourselves, you freaks.
Yeah, you know, you guys are on the same side as Polygon and Verge and all them, you know. It's the same thing, you know. So sit with that for a little while, you know.
Yeah, think about your life, all right?
Yeah. Sort it out, guys.
How dare you like that game?
Yeah, how dare you like Expedition 33? Oh my god, a good game. Yeah. That's where I'm at. So to explain further, is I hope people don't think I'm hating Expedition 33 because I love it. I bought the Xbox disc and I thought I misplaced it. I lost it. And I was actually like tearing my apartment apart, trying to find where I put it. And it was just in some closet that I forgot I put it in. But it was like, oh, good. I'm glad I had to buy it again because I even checked on Amazon and it was sold out again.
Damn.
You know, so people are really buying that disc and people love that game. I get it.
Micah, do you think people are going to handle Bonanza that's coming their way? The Donkey Kong madness? Are they going to be coping?
Oh, I mean, you'll always hear it's the Nintendo bump, blah, blah, blah. So it doesn't matter if the game is genuinely fantastic and amazing. There's just always a subset that's going to be like, that's just the Nintendo bump. And it's like, just shut the fuck up. All right. Like, why don't you just play it and tell me if it's actually good or not?
How many dogs were part of the development team, though? Can't wait for that.
You know, the Nintendo bump, but the Nintendo bump never wins Game of the Year. So what are you talking about?
Oh, man, right?
That's the Wild one,
obviously, but other than that, though, you know.
Yeah, and that's a fucking incredible experience. Like, whoa, look what they did. Like, what an example of just like innovating on a title.
Yeah,
I'm not even a fan of it, but I'm like, look what they fucking did here.
Yeah, the
man.
one game that was a milestone in the open world formula. You know, and they got flowers for that. Yeah, but you know, it's not like Nintendo is always sweeping the awards. They don't get a bump at all. No. You know. They win. They get the family award bump, like as Micah says, you know, completely.
Right, like I was disappointed. It was a tough year, but it's like, yeah, Echoes of Wisdom. I was like, oh man, like come on, give them something. Right? And it's like it was like Astrobot. Yeah. And I'm not saying it didn't deserve it, but I was like, yeah, but there's no Nintendo bump for that.
Yeah, exactly. And let's be real. I love Astrobot. I'm super glad it won Game of the Year. I just played it again last week, and I was having a great time. I think it's a fantastic game. It's great. I think I even called it a perfect game, which I still believe. Right. But let's be real. Echoes of Wisdom was mechanically more interesting and creative. You know, there was a lot more creativity in that game in and of itself. I think it should have been nominated at least if it didn't win. You know. Mm-hmm. But it didn't get nominated at all. So where's the Nintendo bump for that? It's always a Sony bump. It's always a Sony bump.
I was disappointed by that.
You know, even Death Stranding 2 will get the Sony bump too. You know, because Death Stranding 2 is the one prestige game other than Ghost of Yotei, and Ghost of Yotei will probably be nominated too because there's a fucking Sony bump. You know, because Sony is the only studio. Well, because Microsoft doesn't make any games. You know, so Sony is the only publisher that makes like awards bait games, you know, and that all started with The Last of Us, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what
Dramas.
Expedition 33 is too, you guys. It really is. It's Oscar bait. That's what it is. And you guys are falling. It's the parasite of video games, basically. You know.
Yeah, unless Xbox is going to crank out another Hellblade game, they're not going to be getting many mentions this time around.
Yeah, you get 0 mentions for any Hellblade game whatsoever. So,
Oh man, that's funny.
I love my one-sided beef with Hellblade.
No, I mean I love making fun of Hellblade too.
Yeah.
I love talking shit on that. Okay.
Yeah, I can't wait to. Has it come out for PlayStation yet? I can't wait for it to come out of PlayStation and no one play it there too.
Yeah, it's coming out, but I don't remember when.
I mean, do I need a mental health simulator? It is already a battlefield every time I wake up, and it's like, you think I want to play someone else's horrible day?
August 12th. Yeah.
No, get the fuck out of here with this.
All right, this is from the Boxers. Colin takes off before he falls asleep. Sup, guys? I was recently able to get a Switch 2 thanks to the LSM Discord. I've been loving Wind Waker and NSO, and saw they recently announced another banger with Mario Strikers. My hope is that we get Beautiful Joe soon. What are some of your hopes for potential GameCube releases on NSO? Thanks. I'll erotically asphyxiate myself and listen.
Oh,
jeez.
Goodness.
All right. We've talked about this a lot, but it's a great question I'd always loved. I want Skies of Arcadia. Talked about that. Put it on there. Give me Eternal Darkness. Beautiful Joe's also one I want to play because I haven't played them really. And I know people love those games. But yeah, just top of my head. Micah, GameCube game. What do you want?
What I really, really want is the Animal Crossing that was on GameCube.
First one.
What was the tagline? Was it just Animal Crossing? Like,
yeah, for that one, yeah. Because we didn't get the N64 one here.
Yeah, that game just... There's so much nostalgia for that. I didn't get a GameCube until I was in like high school, but I just remember like my friend helping me, and I had all these items in my inventory. I didn't know like what I could get rid of, what I could keep, and she's like, "Oh, you don't need this, you don't need this." She's like, "You're supposed to be selling these things," and she really was like revamping the game for me because I was kind of lost. And she's like, "No, you got to sell this stuff. You got to pay off your home loan," and like she got me kickstarted, and then it was way more fun, and I was loving it. That would just be a really fun one to revisit. I don't even have a GameCube anymore. Or that disc, so that'd be top of the list for me. And give me fucking Sonic Adventure 2 while we're at it.
Yeah, sure. 1 and 2. Put them on there. The DX version.
Fucking buy it for me, Nintendo, please. Mr.
Nintendo.
Miyamoto,
Please
Daddy Miyamoto,
like Phil Spencer.
Papa Miyamoto, because Daddy didn't sound right. No,
Papa Miyamoto's
that's Daddy
the way
Phil.
to go.
Papa Miyamoto, Uncle Miyamoto.
Nah. Papa Miyamoto. He is the papa of everybody. He's everybody's papa. Gene, any GameCube games you can think of quickly?
I don't know. Beautiful Joe, yeah, definitely.
All right.
Yeah, I actually don't know any others because Beautiful Joe is one of the few that I really care about. So, you know.
Yeah, Beautiful Joe. Yeah,
I'm sure I'm forgetting something else. Yeah, Second Sight was also a PS2 game, so I'm trying to think of like GameCube exclusives. I don't know. Like I wasn't like the biggest GameCube fan, you know. Like
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like I already got Metroid Prime and Wind Waker. Those are the games I bought the GameCube for, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not even like enamored with Brawl or I mean Melee as other folks are, you know.
Yeah.
Brawl was Wii, yeah.
Yeah, Brawl was Wii. All right. This is from Big Stupid Idiot. Hey, punchers. What's with this weird Switch 2 PSYOP? It's too expensive. The games are $90. It's all game key cards.
They're not $90. What the fuck, dude? Jesus.
Listen,
come on, big dumb
the
stupid
battery
idiot.
explodes. There are no games. He's talking about people saying this. We're living in an RDC world sketch and watching PlayStation and Xbox fans crash out over Nintendo beating the fuck out of their box. Pause. I'll put my chips on the sandwich and listen.
Oh, hell yeah.
Is it a PSYOP?
Is it a PSYOP? Yes. Okay. I missed that part. Yes. Okay. So big dumb stupid idiot. You are calling others a big dumb stupid idiot.
Yes.
I agree. No, I don't. I've been complaining about this for weeks. I don't understand. You just heard my anger about hearing the $90 misinformation thing. I'm just like every time I hear that, I just get so triggered because it's like it's so not even true.
Yeah, you went off right away.
Yeah, like immediately when I went Killer 7, like my eyes went red, or like Killer 7. Kill Bill, my eyes went red as soon as I heard that. It's like, no, friendly fire. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't understand. It's because like, look, I don't want to call. I'm gonna say names, but it was a Tom Warren and Tom of Insider Gaming. They both reported the $90 thing, and they never really retracted it. They never said sorry. But even if they did retract it, it was already too late. It was already out there, And I was disappointed in both of them. I respect both of them. I think they're both great journalists, and I was so surprised that they just went out and said $90, and it's like, what are you guys stupid? Like, what's going on? Like, what happened here? I don't understand. I don't understand. Something about the Switch 2 is making a lot of games journalists, their brains are just broken. They're like, oh my god, they keep talking about the Steam Deck. Oh my god, it only made me love the Steam Deck more. And I think those things are ridiculous because, in fact, I have been playing my Steam Deck a lot more than the Switch 2. Surprise. I'm also one of those game journalists that just love the Steam Deck more than the Switch 2. But I'm not going around writing articles about it. You know why? Because the Switch 2 just fucking came out.
Yeah.
It has like 40 games on it, whereas the Steam Deck has like 50,000 games on it. So that doesn't make any sense. Steam is its own platform, It's a PC,
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense to write articles about why the Switch 2 isn't living up to its potential. What it's like, it just came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it just came out, bitch. Relax.
What are you talking about? Donkey Kong Bananza isn't even out yet,
Yeah.
But, a lot of these sites are just thriving on hate clicks. And I hate to say that because I know I that's not an accusation I like to make, but it's like PC Gamer has been a huge part of this. They're crazy,
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, PC Gamer is so crazy now, like insane now.
They're insane now.
I'm like, what is this?
I don't understand what they're doing, but they're like worse than Kotaku, honestly,
Yeah. It's crazy. All right. No, I get you. This is from Joseph LaRusso.
And Eurogamer also, they came out with like, oh my god, the Switch 2 doesn't even work out of the box. And it's like, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't do the emulation out of the box. You need to update it, but it will play the games,
Yeah.
But again, like they're so desperate for clicks, they just took some guy from Russia's word for it, and just published that as news, and it's just misinformation, and that poisoned the well of everything because like you're throwing this out to a bunch of people who don't read, so
right, they read a headline and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's ridiculous. It's so sad. So yes, big dumb stupid idiot. I'm completely on your side.
All right, this is from Joseph LaRossa. Hey, Punching Crew, since there was a nice Expedition 33 spoiler cast talk on here a couple weeks ago, I thought it would be good form to bring your attention to Dr. Mick. Dr. Mick is a Twitch streamer / YouTube VOD creator who is a licensed therapist, and he does full playthroughs of games while giving in-depth mental health analysis. He just started Expedition 33, and I highly recommend his playthroughs to you all, especially Gene, given his admiration of the game. His entire second... Wait, Gene, you hate the game, though. This doesn't make sense.
I hate the game. So, Joseph, what are you talking about? Everyone says
what are you talking about, Joseph?
Thank you, Joseph, for actually being a normal person and realizing, oh my god, Gene actually really loves the game.
Yeah. In his entire second episode, he spent an hour and a half just at the festival and the beach landing because of the analysis depth. Keep punching. Yeah, it sounds like up your alley, Gene, something you might check out.
Kind of. I appreciate the recommendation, and I might check it out for sure. I'm just not a fan of like. I'm not always a fan of like, hey, this is my profession, and this is how I'm going to analyze things. But it depends on who's the person, though, right?
Yeah, of course.
Like, so it's not like the label itself that would make the difference, because I'm always like really into like musicians who are like analyzing game music, right? Video game music, and it's just, but it depends. So I appreciate this recommendation, but I'll check it out. One thing about Expedition 33 is that I as you say that I love the game. I don't think it's that deep that we need a analysis on it, because I feel like the game is pretty on its face for on what it's saying.
Right.
That's what I was talking about with Micah earlier about like why I like Verso so much, is because, and no spoilers here, but I'm just going to, but Verso is a very complex person who has a lot of internal battles, right? about he has a lot of he's a person who's having a lot of internal debates about what's going on. And then the cool thing about Expedition 33 and Versal's performance or the digital performance is that you can really see it on his face. You can really see the debates that he's having in there and like how he's acting in a certain way. And I feel like a lot of that just kind of speaks for itself. I don't think it really needs too much analysis, but I'll check this out because he might say something interesting that I just don't even think about. So yeah, thanks for the rec, man.
All right, this is from Jack. Now that I have your attention, man, all these Switch 1 upgrades are great / stinky no longer. Almost as if the games from 2022 and on were designed for the Switch 2. Tears of the Kingdom, Echoes of Wisdom, Scarlet and Violet, etc. But just released on the Switch 1 for the hell of it. My question is, do you think that we all will quickly reach the point with Switch 2 exclusives where they cap out the hardware and the stinky throne is reclaimed once more by first-party titles? Or do you think Nintendo was keen enough to future-proof the system with enough power to handle the style of games they intend to make years down the road? So do we think the Switch 2 is going to get stinky pretty fast? Micah, what do you think?
I wouldn't say fast. Like the listener noted, for the style of games that they intend to make, I don't think we're going to get stinky quickly, if that's the main question here. No, I don't. An example being Princess Peach Showtime. Like that game had ridiculous loading times, and it was this was not running. And it's a game that seemed relatively simple on its surface, but that game did not run well. Just the loading times alone were absurd. So I don't think that Nintendo first party games will quickly hit the limits of the Switch 2. We might see it relatively faster with third-party games, but my focus on Nintendo is always first-party anyways. So I think for their titles, I wouldn't worry about this happening soon.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Gene?
I agree. I think here's the thing. It took all the way up until Super Princess Peach Showtime for first-party games to feel really, really stinky. Arguably Link's Awakening was pretty stinky too, right? And that happened back in the day. I agree with that. I think it didn't run well, So already it was kind of pushing it in the middle, but then we were still getting great performing games, or games that just do just fine. So I think for first party games it'll be fine. But we're already seeing the limits of even Cyberpunk, which is an older game, but it is one of the more complicated games, but it is older. And it already has limits, an upper ceiling on the Switch 2. And if that was from a team that deeply cared about optimizing for the Switch 2. So, Witcher 4 on the Switch 2 might come out, but it'll be pretty stinky, just like the Witcher 3 that we got on the Switch 1. I would not be surprised at that. But I'd be happy with that because it means that games are finally progressing in terms of tech,
Mm-hmm.
Death Stranding 1 definitely could be runnable on the Switch 1. Switch 2, it'll be compromised. I think I think it'll be compromised, but I think you could still fit it in there. I'm really wondering whether the Steam Deck will be able to chunk out Death Stranding 2 as well. Definitely not at 60 FPS. Death Stranding 1 doesn't even run at 60 FPS on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, there's no way.
It would not. I think it'll be just barely there getting on the Steam on the Switch 2 for Death Stranding 1, and Death Stranding 2 definitely will be 30 FPS for sure. So
I think Switch will be all right for a while. Once PS6 and Xbox, whatever the fuck it's going to be, come out, the stink will become more apparent, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, I think you're good for a while. At least first party, you're good for a while. All right. This is from Justin 24 Hour. Mike, I blame you for this.
I did nothing.
Hello, my fellow hardcore gamers and creamers. So you're in your house from Nook's Homes and you start gooning to a pic of your favorite villager. When suddenly another animal walks in, they call Copper and Booker, who come and rough you up, and Mayor Tortimer exiles you to sailing the sea with Gulliver. One night when Gulliver crash lands back on the island, you stagger to the roost and start gooning to Blathers. KK Slider tells you that the best thing you can do is become the town Goonicider. Then he'll dedicate a song to you every Saturday night. Rip in peace. What a way to go, right? Which villager do you think is so hot that they would lead you to becoming so obsessed that you would goon yourself down this tragic path? What the fuck is this? What is this, Micah? Why are you instigating this?
I didn't instigate anything. What did
Telling
I
him
do?
to write into the show.
Well,
Stuff like this.
he wrote this. Originally, he wrote a briefer version of this in the Discord, and I did say, please write into the thread, because even if Brad doesn't pick it, he'll have to read it.
So now you're going to have to answer this.
Yeah, all right. So the first thing that came to mind was Apollo, but what I'm forgetting is the coffee shop.
I was just looking at Apollo right now. Like, the American bald eagle, sure.
Yeah, he's tight.
Yeah. Who runs the coffee shop, though? Oh, Brewster. Yeah. I think, Brewster. If I'm being honest, I think it'd probably be Brewster, but why can't it be both? Why can't it be both? Birds of a feather and all that, as they say.
Right. Yeah, Brewster's pretty cool, too.
He's fucking sweet.
Yeah, he's got like an old man vibe, so you like him, too, yeah.
Yeah, we could have a coffee together. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, he's like Sojiro. Do you like Sojiro from Persona?
Oh, yeah,
Persona
of
5.
course. Yeah, no, it took me a second because I was like, which game? Yes, oh my God, he is like fantastic. All right, okay. Yeah, he's wonderful. Be like, put some creamer in my coffee, daddy.
Damn. Sorry, Gene, we both have to answer this as well.
Yeah. I'm looking through the list right now. I'm in the O's right now. I've got a couple that I've seen, but I'm just the mousy ones are cute, right? Always love a mousy girl, right? Just in general. I'm the degenerate in me is thinking about the anteaters. Because you know they got that suck now, you know.
Oh my God.
But I don't know. In terms of like specific names, I'm trying to find the one that I guess caught my eye. I guess I don't know. This is so degrading. This is the worst. I don't like doing this at all.
I hate this.
Yeah, I hate this at all. This is humiliating. This is Audie. There you go. She's the fox girl.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, dude. I was looking at her, too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I just found a list like that Game Rant did of the cutest Animal Crossing villagers, because I typed in prettiest Animal Crossing villagers, and they have a list of the cutest ones.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of cute ones, but I think Audie, she's a fox. That's, I think foxes are the most acceptable furry, furry types, everyone our age, Brad grew up on Maid Marian in the Robin Hood Disney movie. Yeah, she was a total babe there. I mean, that probably unlocked like a lot of furrydom, sexual degeneracy. Right?
I blame that and like the Lion King and shit.
Oh yeah, Lion King, and also a gadget from Rescue Rangers too, Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
She was like the perfect woman, like come on.
I gotta say, like even like as a kid, there's that scene in the Lion King where like Nala's like laying on the grass, kind of like seductively, and as a kid, I was like, I hate this part. There's always something in that scene. I was like, I do not like this scene, and I didn't know what it was at the time. I was like, I do not like this.
Yeah,
and whoever drew that, jail.
That scene was, I watched that when I was a kid, and that was like one of the first times I realized, like, oh, you can just have boners, like whenever. Like,
That's where the dust cloud spells out sex. I believe that's that same section of the movie.
Yeah. Remember the boner in The Little Mermaid too?
Yes, I do. Yeah. It's so funny.
The one on the cover, and also the priest when he says "Dearly beloved," and he's just fucking his hard on just fucking just shoots through his priest cloth.
It's crazy, man.
But Lion King was definitely the first time where I was like, oh, you can just have a boner whenever. It doesn't have to. You don't have to be touching it or anything. It's just like it'll just happen.
It just happens.
They don't even have to be people.
Yeah.
That's when I knew I was in trouble. In trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble. I'll pick Kitty. She seems like a bad bitch in Animal Crossing, I guess.
I gotta Google this.
Yeah, Kitty from Animal Crossing.
Scrolling down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll work.
Dude, who's this guy Louie? Just fucking Donkey Kong.
Oh, Kitty's a cutie. Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
What a horrible way to end the show, but that's the end of the show.
Probably the
everybody.
worst ending we've ever had, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we could top that easy.
Next week, probably something heinous is going to come up. All right. Gene, Micah, thank you both for joining me as always. Appreciate it. Fun chatting with you, even though we got to talk about horrendous shit like that. You guys make it fun. Anything you want to say before we go?
I got one thing. So my birthday, it's birthday month, July 1st today.
Are you one of those people that does birthday months? It's my birthday month.
No. I'm just saying it is my birthday month. But here's the thing. I'm starting to get the emails of the free things for your birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And Red Robin, no more free birthday burger, free birthday milkshake. This
Hard
is
times.
an outrage. And I'm very upset. I don't know when they made this change, but I'm disgusted.
Tough times, Micah. All right. That's it, I guess. Let's get the hell out of here. It's Micah's birthday month, everybody.
Let's get as far away from this ending as possible, for sure.
Yeah, I need to take a shower or something after this.
I know.
All right.
I'm jumping into the shower.
You can think about Kitty.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
We're fucking out of here,
my
everybody.
God.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Punching Up, a Nintendo podcast, is a product of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Bradley Ellis. My co-hosts are Gene Park and Micah Moriarty. The show is edited and produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. Punching Up, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we're grateful for your kind contributions and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.